be very engaging, very educative. Thank you so much for joining us once again. My name is Margaret Achibong, the Unit Head for Client Services. All right, my video is up now. All right, my name is Margaret Achibong, the Unit Head Client Services at Phillips HMO, and I am going to be your anchor today. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, like I said earlier, please go ahead and start filling out the provider survey. You have the QR code there, so please go ahead and scan it. I believe we have also dropped the link, so you can go ahead and click on the link so you're taken to the provider survey that you can complete. Thank you so much for your time. All right, so without further ado, I believe we can go ahead and start this session. I would like to welcome all those that have joined so far, and of course, all the other providers that are here represented and will be joining us shortly. Thank you so much. We will go ahead and start the session now. All right, so we'll go ahead and take the national anthem first, after which we will give an opening prayer and of course, start the session in essence. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much for that. We would go ahead, as it is the Phillips tradition here with us. We like to start every session of this magnitude with an opening prayer to commit all of today's activities into God's hands. So please, wherever you are, kindly bow your heads for prayers. Almighty and eternal God, we bless your name this morning because you are good. We thank you for giving us such a beautiful opportunity like this to see a day like today. We thank you because we know that you are here in our midst. You have given us this opportunity. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercies and making it possible for us to see today. We know that we are gathered here for something very important. And so we pray for knowledge, we pray for understanding, we pray for retentive memories, and we pray most of all for a very successful event. We thank you for your opportunities. We thank you for the provision that you have given unto us. And we ask, oh Lord, that as we are out here today, whatever it is that we have set out to do with this event, whatever we have set out to do today, we pray for success and we pray for understanding. And we pray that you are in our midst, Lord Jesus, to give us everything that we need to make this a successful outfit. Thank you, Lord Jesus, because we know that you've done even more than we've asked for in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. All right, so now that we have had that out of the way, we are just going to establish some ground rules that would, make this session a very interesting one. Like I said earlier, this session is going to be very engaging, very entertaining, and of course, very educative. Once again, I want to thank you and welcome you to this session. I would give some instructions, and of course, just to maintain quietness, we would encourage everyone to keep their mics muted. If you have any questions, you have the QA box that you can go ahead and drop. I can see that some people have already gone ahead to start dropping the questions, and of course, we will address those shortly. Like I said earlier, please go ahead and start filling out the provider survey. Of course, after you've taken the survey, you can go ahead and drop your phone number for your data gift. Please note that you get your data gift upon completion of the provider survey. So please go ahead, scan the QR code or use the link that has been provided there. Thank you so much. All right, so I believe we have that out of the way, and we would, of course, intermittently keep reminding you of the survey. So please do not forget, as you're joining, quickly go ahead and fill out the provider survey. So without further ado, I would go ahead and introduce all of the Phillips HMO staff that are present in this forum. In no particular order, I would go ahead and introduce my MD, our MD, the MD of Phillips HMO, in the person of Dr. Victor Benebo. He would be, of course, giving us the opening remarks shortly. We also have the head of medical operations and quality assurance. That would be the person of Dr. Eze Chinyere Ekpo. He will be taking us on another session shortly. We also have here present the head of finance, Mr. Lubumi Faloa, who would also be having his own address. We have our claims manager here, Faith Okechukwu. She'll be taking us on the portal training much later. We also have present in this forum the head of our business development and sales unit, Mr. Femi Duduyemi. So I believe those are the people that we have here present. Of course, they have their own, they will be taking us on their own presentations shortly. So now that we have that out of the way, we would go ahead and have the opening remarks by our MD, Dr. Victor Benebo. Sir, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Margaret, for the intro. Can I please have my video on? Organize that, please. Okay. Okay, can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So it's my honor to welcome everyone this morning to this very important meeting, the Providers Forum. It is our practice in Phillips HMO to have this regular periodic time of interacting with our providers. I know that it's not all HMOs that actually do this on a regular basis, but in Phillips here, we have this philosophy that our partners are very important to us and that we see ourselves as partners in progress and in business. And so it's first, I want to appreciate everyone, the providers, very key stakeholders in this managed care scheme. We want to say thank you so much for taking care of our enrollees. Thank you for the partnership we have enjoyed with you. We are really grateful. We thank you and we value the relationship that we've had with you. You know that it's a symbiotic relationship, meaning that we are in partnership. So we help to grow your business by sending enrollees to you, and you also help to grow our business by taking care of the enrollees well, so that more people are directed to your hospital, and then you also put some word of reference and some word of comments and recommendation for us as well to patients and people that come across you. In that way, your enrollee base is growing as the clients come to us, and we also direct them back to you. It's important for me to remind us, I'm sure we do know this, that we operate a roaming system. meaning that somebody is not limited to the hospital he registers. And so it's important that if we understand this, we will be able to keep our part as providers to take care of the enrollees very well based on standard practice, based on best practice, and treat them properly, give them that sense of value, and do not discriminate against them. Because the fact that they're HMO patient doesn't mean that they're any lesser patient. We give them prompt service, keep them not waiting for long, prompt attention, prompt service, standard care. And when we do all of this for them, it's very easy that the news will fly and they will get that encounter experience back to their colleagues and to others. And that way, more people can come to the hospital. Even if they don't register with the hospital, they are free to come to the hospital. So this is something that we've done that gives you that immediate sort of benefit for giving good and proper and prompt service to the enrollees, which of course we know as doctors we have sworn to take good care of. So I want to also thank us for all that we've been doing in this regard so far, and also making a request that we continue to do them and even do more and improve on it more, because that is just the way that we can also give the standard and quality of care that we are promised as professionals to our enrollees. So lastly, I want to also say that we are aware of the NHI Act that has been passed into law, meaning that health insurance is now compulsory by law. Implementation is underway, and we are hopeful that in the few period to come, guidelines will be out and will be clear on how this will roll. But the good thing is that now we are set to have a lot of people who are outside the insurance net being put into the health insurance net. And since it's now mandatory, we just have to get ready as providers for this coming big bang of a lot of people now being directed to health insurance. Health insurance, we know, is the mainstay and actually a veritable tool of having people to be able to have access to quality healthcare and affordable rates. So we are glad that this is now passed into law, that has been desired since in the industry, and there's going to be a lot of galvanization and activity in the industry. So as colleagues, I want to just appeal to us to get ourselves ready and prepared for this coming bank, and it will be something that we'll be glad for, because a lot of people will be channeled to the proper healthcare provision value chain. So once again, thank you so much for spending time to be in this provider forum. We are here to work together with you. We're here to see that we have a win-win situation and a very good partnership that will translate to quality care for our enrollees. Welcome you to this forum, and we trust that we're going to have a good time. Please, one more time, let me use my office to still appeal to you to please take the survey. It's important that we have feedback from you so we can know areas that we need to improve in, and we believe that continuous improvement is our stay, and we are very confident that we'll continue to do our best. So thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of the session. You're welcome.
Amidst the prevailing mediocrity and protracted dereliction, rises an HMO with a clear mandate to redefine the health insurance space by pushing the boundaries of excellent service delivery to the limits. A member of the Phillips Consulting Group with a vision to make healthcare available for everyone and a mission to deliver healthcare that works for you. Powered by very strong IT architecture,
All right, thank you so much, Andy, for that opening speech. I'm sure that has really spoiled us, and we're definitely ready to get into the business of things. All right, so coming up next is our head of medical operations and quality assurance, who will be taking us on who we are as Phillips HMO, talking about how far we've come, our vision, our mission, and all of that. So please join me in welcoming our head of medical operations, Dr. Ezi Chinyere Epo. Doc, over to you, please.
Good morning, everyone. This is a huge pleasure. Like I say, it's always good to put a face to the name. I know that for a number of us, we've been relating from afar. So it's wonderful to have a forum like this where we can actually interact, talk to ourselves, address our pain points. Because like my MD said, the whole purpose of this is for a smoother running of our systems and of the tripartite relationship that we have. We are quite generous in the sense that we believe that things need to augur well for our partners. And of course, if things go well with our providers, ultimately it will cascade down to our enrollees, and it will also affect our brand positively. Hence, everybody will be happy. And that's why we've decided to put this forum together. And let me start out by thanking us profusely for the partnership you've afforded us over the years, taking care of our clients, having patience with us sometimes when things are not really the way they should be. So we are quite grateful. And that is also one of the reasons why we put this together, so that we can express our massive gratitude to you, because you providers have been absolutely marvelous and fabulous. And we are quite grateful to that. We are quite grateful to you about that, because without you, this can't fly, this can't work. So we're saying thank you. We can't even say it enough. So we'll just quickly run through who we are, address some of the issues we have in the partnership with some of these slides. And of course, at the end, there will be questions which we would address. And please don't forget, if you haven't done so, to scan the QR code or to click on the link below, because it's after the survey that you'll be able to submit your phone number for the data gift. Thank you. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. So who are we? Well, who is Phillips HMO? Phillips HMO is a managed care organization, like we all know, incorporated in Nigeria to provide prepaid, comprehensive, qualitative, and affordable healthcare services and solutions through a network of effective and efficient healthcare providers. And that is what most of us have been, effective and efficient. Sorry, my slides. Okay. So our healthcare plans are specifically tailored and specially tailored to meet the specific needs of individuals, families, and corporate entities. And it's also good for us to know this. I'm sure our BD head will address this later, because some of you provider partners would also help us talk about our plans to some of the private patients that come to your facilities. So what's our vision? To make healthcare available for everyone, which is quite imperative, especially in a country like ours. And our mission is to deliver healthcare that works. And we are fully accredited by the NHIS, which is the NHIA now. And what are our core values? Customer focus, reliability, responsiveness, ethics, and tenacity. Our plans are basic, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and platinum. And this is a representation of what our enrollee ID card look like. But beyond that, some of our clients, or a majority of them, even use electronic ID card. And for that to work, there has to be an online verification link. So this is a one-click link that you can access through our portals. And through that, you'll now be able to know if the enrollee is eligible for his plan type and for the services benefits covered on his or her plan. And how do you do this? First and foremost, online eligibility check is compulsory for all enrollees. And like I said, it can be done via the portal. And our standing rule is that none of our enrollees should wait for more than 10 minutes for the eligibility check. And in any circumstance where the provider cannot bring this to bear, then please contact us through our call center channels. And our 24-hour call center number is 01-633-9123. And please, it will be quite good if we can all have these numbers, because sometimes we get calls from other channels that are not the call center numbers. So call center number again, 01-633-9123. And this is also quite important. Our dedicated HCP email is hcp@phillipshmo.net. And of course, you agree with me that why this is important is if you send your mails to other channels, for example, a number of us, even though we have addressed this over and over again, a number of providers still send mails to our info email address. And of course, that means that some of those emails cannot be attended to promptly. And in some of those cases, it now gets back to the enrollee that we're not prompt, in dealing or dispatching our duties. But the issue is from the fact that, or stems from the fact that a wrong email address was used ab initio. So please, our dedicated HCP email is hcp@phillipshmo.net. You can even snap these slides so that maybe you print it out or something and put at your HMO desk. hcp@phillipshmo.net. Thank you. How to access care? Of course, access to care is obtained on successful eligibility check. Referral for secondary care must be from primary care provider or by pre-authorization by Phillips HMO. So one of our core values is ethics. And based on that, we don't look forward to chopping providers' bills when they send them. But sometimes we notice that our enrollees are referred for secondary care without pre-authorization numbers. And when we get such bills, we can send them for approval. So please, going forward, ensure that all our secondary care clients get pre-authorization before they are sent to the specialist. Primary care services should be attended to at first visit by the general practitioner. So, and I really shouldn't just walk into the hospital and we're just sending the person straight to see the specialist. They should be attended to at first by the general practitioner. All specialist care requires pre-authorization, except in emergency cases. So when the emergency cases, we won't say, oh, we are waiting to receive authorization before we treat, because we might be doing the enrollee a world of harm. So please, all specialist care requires pressurization except in emergencies. So when the enrollee has it stabilized, then you can ask for the pressurization. And admission requires notification within 24 hours. We also notice that sometimes it is even when the enrollee is going home. That pops up often. That is when the enrollee is even going home after maybe having spent a couple of days in the hospital, that the provider will now start asking for an admission PA. So admission requires notification within 24 hours. Pressurization guidelines. Request through the portal. The system is automated, so it generates the authorization code, which will be sent to your email addresses. Phone call on the HCP hotline, and there's a hotline again, 101-633-9123. A number of times, enrollees call other numbers within the system, and that means that before they filter down to the authorization point, time would have passed by. So please, once again, 01-633-9123. This is a dedicated E1 line with multiple channels that go straight to the 24-hour call center for prompt response. And once again, email hcp@phillipshmo.net. PA should be gotten before rendering service. PA codes for elective procedures and services, dental, optical, maternity services will be issued under an hour. Y codes for immediate procedures will be issued within 15 minutes. If there's no response within 15 minutes, kindly put a call through to our call center. I see some hands are being raised up, so we'll address your questions after the presentation. In medical emergency situations, please go ahead. You can see that's highlighted, and it's also bold. In medical emergency situations, please go ahead to treat all our enrollees and notify our call center within 24 hours. Then a number of providers complain about sometimes, especially some of the ones outside Lagos, complain about the fact that sometimes their claims are not paid as when due. And we also notice that it is because of the way some of those claims are submitted. And going forward, we want to put an end to all that to ensure prompt payment. So, because prior to this time, some people send their claims through emails and other channels, and that it now takes a long while to process. Sometimes it doesn't even get to us when it's supposed to. Sometimes because they are not submitted through the portals, they don't meet the adjudication, the necessary adjudication metrics that are needed. So going forward, we had even done a mail to that from July, we have done a mail to all the providers that from July, all our claims will now be submitted only through the portal. And this is majorly for your benefit, because when it's submitted to the portal, the processing is faster and the payment is also faster, and the metrics will also be met. So please, going forward, let's adhere to this. Then all other information concerning claims will be relayed during the portal training by Mrs. Okechukwu. So our service guidelines, please, it is required, mandatory, that polypharmacy and churning are medically inappropriate and so will not be accepted. Drugs and investigations that are irrelevant by standard practice to the diagnosis and management will not be paid for. For example, you give a diagnosis of malaria, and when you submit your claims, you are given IV Rocephin. Rocephin is irrelevant to that diagnosis and management, and of course, that will not be paid for. Referrals for specialist consultation should be only when medically indicated. It's not a free for all. All claims should be submitted by the provider within 10 days from the successful month of encounter. Earlier submission is also highly recommended. Okay, this shouldn't go anymore. No Phillips HMO enrollee should be denied care without contacting and getting clearance from us. All medications prescribed must be safe and NAFDAC approved. And talking about medications, let me also mention it here, because sometimes our enrollees come and they say that a provider told them that there are some particular drugs that they need that we don't cover, and then ask the enrollee to pay out of pocket. Please, let's desist from that. If there are issues like that, get in touch with us. Then we'll get back to you and get back to the enrollee. But please don't tell our enrollees that there are some things, drugs we don't cover, that they should buy it out of pocket. That's not, that standard is not right. In line with standard practice, all Phillips HMO enrollees should be duly informed of their diagnosis, treatment modalities, and management. Basically, our enrollees should be carried along when they come for treatment. All Phillips HMO members that present to the hospital in emergencies should be treated. All treatment should be in line with standard guidelines on disease management and evidence-based medicine. So we don't just give drugs anyhow. Like I've had a provider say that when a patient comes, maybe if there is evidence of sepsis, that he just whacks the patient with rotaphine so that the patient or the enrollee wouldn't have to come again. That's wrong. That's wrong practice. The right practice is that, depending, of course, also depending on what you find, but if it's just an outpatient, you know, a basic case, you start from the lower antibiotics and work upwards. And why that is also good is because you are reducing the chances of resistance. No Phillips HMO enrollee should be discriminated against based on status, religion, sex, race, age, or appearance. And these are our contact addresses. Email hcp@phillipshmo.net. Telephone 016-339-123. That's our Instagram address, our Instagram handle, Twitter handle, Facebook handle, and LinkedIn handle. Much. Like I said, there'll be time for questions later. We'll let you know when that time comes up, and we'll be addressing all your issues. Thank you once again.
Amidst the prevailing mediocrity and protracted dereliction, rises an HMO with a clear mandate to redefine the health insurance space by pushing the boundaries of excellent service delivery to the limits. A member of the Phillips Consulting Group with a vision to make healthcare available for everyone and a mission to deliver healthcare that works for you. Powered by very strong IT architecture that drives her operations and the healthcare value chain, making effectiveness and efficiency the order of the day. Ably ran by the finest of professionals, guaranteeing 100% customer satisfaction.
Phillips HMO, always there for you.
All right, thank you so much for that very insightful session, Dr. Easy. I'm sure there's a lot of questions. I can see that there's a lot of questions that have been coming in. So please go ahead, drop your questions. We will go ahead and attend to it. We have a specific section that has been slated for Q&A, and we will definitely ensure that all of your questions and any concerns that you have will be tackled. Like I had said earlier, please go ahead and fill out the survey and of course submit your phone number so you can get your data gifts. Please go ahead and fill out your survey. Thank you so much. All right, so we've had that session from with Dr. Eze, and we're going to go right into an icebreaker session right now. All work and no play, of course, like they say, makes Jack a dull boy. So we're going to go ahead and have just about 3 exciting questions to see, to check the kind of people we have in attendance here with us. We want to check if we have any new participants, and of course, old participants that had joined in the previous providers forum that we've had. So please, you have the poll questions coming up shortly. So please go ahead and take the questions. It's just like I said, it's just about 3 questions just to check if this is your first time of joining a forum of this nature, and if you operate within Lagos, and of course, if you're able to know our right website domain URL. So please go ahead and take the poll questions. This should last for about 2 to 3 minutes. So it's going to be a really short one, just something to see how many people are familiar with our website, and of course, if this is your first time of joining this forum. So I'll give you about 2-3 minutes to go ahead and fill that out.
Okay, why that is going on, let me just add that I see some hands being raised. Dental Clinic, Sylvia, Peace, Dr. Yeka, Ruben, and all that, Christopher. Please, we will have time to receive those questions. Just note them down, just write them down somewhere, please, so that we can move faster. And then we'll come to a time where we'll take all those questions. Thank you. It could be that some of the questions you want to ask, the next presenter may be addressing them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD, for that important information. I can see that about 96 people out of the people that have joined. So we'll give it another 2 minutes. So please feel free to join to take this poll question. Please go ahead and, like MD said, so that we can quickly wrap up this session. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for participating in that short poll section. That icebreaker was much needed. Thank you so much for your time. We would go ahead and, of course, look through the questions that you have provided so that we can see those of us who are very, very familiar with the Phillips HMO website. And of course, if you're a first time joiner. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm sure you're going to gain a lot of value from these forum. And thank you so much. So next, we're going to go right into the portal training. We have one of our claims manager here who will be taking us on the portal training. So please, I believe this is a very, very important aspect of this forum. And I would really encourage us to pay attention. And of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat box. We will definitely treat your question, like I said. So please be assured of that. And of course, fill out the survey. Please don't forget to always fill out the survey if you're yet to do that. Go ahead and fill out the survey and drop your phone numbers for your data gate. We would surely get across to you on that. All right, so at this point, we will be inviting Faith Okechukwu, our claims manager, to take us on the portal training. So Faith, please, over to you. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Faith, and I will be taking you on the portal training today. So I'll be sharing my screen, and you can confirm if you can see my screen now. Please, can you all see my screen? Can you confirm?
Yes, Faith, I can see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I believe we all have our portal login details, because recently there was an upgrade on our portal and the new portal login details was sent to all our providers. So I'll just click on it to take me straight to the portal. Or I can copy it and go to my Chrome. Please. Just a minute, please. I'm trying to. Okay, so I'm sorry for the interruption. So now I've copied the login details on my Google Chrome. So I'm just going to put in the login details now for the provider I'm going to use. I'll be using Phillips Hospital. It's a demo hospital I'll be using for the sake of this training, and my login details are currently being inputted now. Okay, now I've logged into the log in into Phillips HMO portal. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now that I'm in, this is the landing page I'm going to get. I have the home module, I have the member pre-authorization claims, and I have the reports. I'll be starting with home. So once any of our release comes into your hospital, the first thing you do is to check if this enrollee is eligible to access care at your provider and if he's also active for the care. So I have a demo ID number that I'll be using for this training. So let's assume this person comes to Phillips Test Hospital. I put in my login, I put in the release ID number. Okay, and then I click on submit. Once you do that, it's going to give you the release details. Now, this is the release number, the name, Adewale Ajuluchuku, and every other details you need. So for you to check if this release is eligible, you click on view. And once you do that, it tells you, it asks you, is this enrollee currently at the hospital? Yes, enrollee is present. You click on that, and then you scroll down. Once you scroll down, it tells you enrollee is active, and this enrollee is allowed to use this hospital. These are the two major things you need to check here, because enrollee can be active and not allowed to use the hospital. And enrollee can be allowed to use the hospital and is not active. So please make sure you check these particular two buttons, that enrollee is active and is also allowed to use your hospital. Then you can also see every other dependents registered under this principal. You can see the wife and the children, every dependent registered under him. So that's all about the home module. Then the member is for member list. Well, in Phillips HMO, we don't make use of member list. All you need to do is just to check eligibility of the enrollee. And once it's active and allowed to use the provider, you can go ahead to attend to the enrollee. So the next one is pre-authorization. Under the pre-authorization, we have PA request and confirm PA. PA request is for you to request for approval code to carry out some secondary procedures on the enrollees. There are other methods where you can send us. You can also send a mail to HCP to request for authorization code. But for the use of the portal, you click on the PA request, and once you click on it, you put in the ID number of the enrollee. So I would also go ahead to use our demo enrollee for the sake of this training. Once I put the ID number, I click on search, and then it gives me the details. It also tells me as a reminder that this enrollee is active and is also allowed to use this hospital. Now, what do I want to request for? I put in the date. Today is 13th of July, and then the diagnosis code. Well, Phillips, for this portal is not going to accept manual diagnosis like you just come in and writing. Let's say, for example, hypertension. It's not going to accept it, or it's going to give you a lot of diagnosis. So all you need to do is just to go to your Google Chrome, type hypertension, and then put in ICD-10. So once you do that, it's going to give you the ICD-10 code for that particular procedure. And for hypertension, the ICD-10 code for hypertension is I-10. So once I put in that, it gives me the exact diagnosis I need. I click on it, and then it tells me to put in my procedure. So for this person came into the hospital, is going to see a specialist. So I just type in specialist, and it gives me lots of options. Then I click the particular one I want, a cardiologist, which is subspecialist consultation. Automatically the amount pops up. You don't need to input the amount, because once you sign in with Phillips HMO, your agreed tariff is uploaded to your portal, is mapped to your provider, so that anytime you click on a procedure, the amount agreed with us pops out. So once I click on this, as I've clicked on cardiologist, the amount comes out. Then I select quantity. This provider is going to be one, because obviously it's going to be one consultation. Then I click on add to list. You also need, let's say after seeing the specialist, he prescribed amlodipine 10 milligram. I click on it, the amount pops up. Then if 30 tablets for a month, I click on add to list. Then I go ahead to click on other procedures, the specialists. gave clopidogrel. I put my quantity as well. Add to list. Let's say also said the provider should do a chest, the enrollee should do a chest X-ray. The quantity is going to be 1. Add to list. So every procedure that you want to request for, just input it all at once. Not that you click one, send, click the second one. So that's going to be a waste of time on your own end. So you can just put in all the procedures at once. All the procedure at once, then you come down, view it very well to ensure that you put in the correct things, the consultation, the amlodipine, the clopidogrel, the chest X-ray, and you come here to click on request PA code. Once you do that, it will tell you to enter a comment. So you can put in any clinical information that you feel would assist us in our own end to approve the procedure. So for here, I can just put in enrollee is to see enrollee saw a specialist and the drugs were prescribed, or any other clinical information that you feel we need. I'm just writing this for the sake of this training, and then you click on request PA code. Are you sure you wish to proceed? Okay. PA request successful. Now you've sent your request for this particular person. Now also under this PA request, once you scroll down, you can track your, once you scroll, you can track your requests. For example, today is 13th of July. It will give me all the requests I had made. For example, today, from this to this, you can see it's in yellow color and the status is pending. That's because it has not been approved. But once our contact agent approves it, the color will automatically change to green with the PA code written boldly. If it's denied, you can see this is red and it's denied, and the reason will be written here under the issuer's comments why that is not covered. So you can use this to track your PA requests. Now, the next thing under pre-authorization is confirmed PA. Now, for this confirmed PA, it's just for you to put in the PA code that was issued to you to confirm if this PA code was actually issued to your provider and if it contains the agreed tariff with Phillips HMO and the quantity as well, if it's what was sent for. I will come back to this confirmed PA once the pre-authorization code has been given for the procedure we just requested for. So while we wait for that, we'll go to claims. While we wait for the code to be approved, we'll go to claims. And under the claims, we have the primary care claims and the PA claims. We'll start with the primary care claims. Primary care claim, this is where we submit our claims at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month. Now, the first thing you do once you click on claims, on primary care claims, is to create a batch. You create a batch for that particular month. And your batch name has to contain the name of your provider, the month, the year, and the type of claims. For example, this provider's name is Phillips Test Hospital. So I'm going to write Phillips Test. Then the month this is the month of July. So for this month of July, I'll write July 2023. And the type of claims, primary claims, or some can also write it as no authorization claims. That's it. Yes, just like this. That's the batch name. Your batch name has to contain the name of your provider, the month you're submitting, the year, and the type of the claims. Then you click on months. This is the month of July, year 2023, and you click on Save Batch. Once you do that, it tells you batch has been created successfully. That's the first thing you do once you come to claim to submit your services rendered. So now I've created my batch. The next thing is for me to start imputing all the procedures. The next thing is for me to put in the release ID number. I'll go ahead with our demo enrollee. I click on search. Then we select the batch. We select the batch number, which is this, Phillips Test, July 2023, no auth claims. I click on it. So every time you input an release ID number, please do well to select the correct batch you want to add the procedures to. Now, encounter date from, this enrollee came in today, 30th of July, and encounter date to. Okay, so this encounter date from means the date the enrollee comes into your to the hospital. Then enrollee date to, it's the date the enrollee leaves. For example, if it's a one-time visit, it's going to be same date. Like I come into the hospital today, I see a doctor, collect my drug, and I leave. So the second date is going to be that same date. But if it's a case of admission, I come in today, 13th of July, and let's say I spend like 3 nights in that hospital. The second day, the encounter date 2 is going to be 13th night, 14th night, 15th night. That would be 16th of July. So the dates will be different. Then the next thing is for you to put in your diagnosis code. Like I said earlier, you do not have to, you do not put in the name just like that. The system will not accept it. It's written there. Please note that only ICD-10 primary care diagnosis will display here. So for the sake of this one, I'll be using malaria. And the ICD-10 code for malaria, I'll write it down, is B54. It gives me the specific diagnosis and I click on it. Now, procedure code. This person came into, Mr. Adewale came to the hospital. He saw a general doctor, that's general consultation. Automatically, the amount comes up. You don't need to put in the amount. Then you select quantity. Quantity is going to be 1. Let's also ensure we try to put in the correct quantities. I've seen situations where by providers click on general consult and they put in 20, which is not possible. It's not possible for an enrollee to come in today and then sit and write general consultation 20 when it's not a drug or a service or a test. So general consult should always be 1. And you come to click on add to list. Please do not click on add to batch. You only click on add to batch when you're done inputting everything that was done for this particular enrollee. So I click on add to list to tell me enter the comment. So you can just put in clinical information that we need, that you feel we might need during the adjudication of this particular claim when it comes to our hand. So I can put in enrollee febrile vomiting. See, then you can just, anything that you feel we might need, just put it there, and then you click on add to list. So once you click on add to list, the procedure goes, you scroll up, you will see the procedure. It keeps piling up on top of it until you're done. So after seeing the general consult, same diagnosis code B54, the procedure, the enrollee was asked to do a malaria test. Once I do that, the amount comes up. I click my quantity, which is 1. And same comment is there. I click on add to list. Same diagnosis code, malaria, P54. Was given as a metalomethane. The amount pops out. You click on, depending on the age of the enrollee. So let's assume this person is an adult and needs 24 tablets of anti-malaria. You go on, click on add to list. And then it was also given paracetamol, same diagnosis. And we give the paracetamol 500 milligram. This is by sachet. So obviously I'm just giving 1 sachet of paracetamol and I had to list. So like I said, once you're done with all the procedures, all the services rendered for this enrollee, you can now come and look through to ensure that what you're about to submit is correct. General consult is 1, anti-malaria 24, malaria parasite test 1, paracetamol sachet 1. And if you feel there's an error, let's say for example, as a metalomethane, you wrote 22 instead of 24, or you wrote 28 instead of 25, you want to correct, just click on this remove. And once you do that, it automatically deletes and I go and re-input it from the below. So now that I'm sure that this is the correct thing that was given for this enrollee, I just come down and then I click on my add to batch. And it tells me, are you sure you wish to proceed? Okay. Claims added to batch successfully. Now you scroll down and you will see your saved primary care claims. Saved primary care claims. Total charge amount so far is 3,870. You see your batch date. You see the total number of claims. You see your total number of claims. So this is just that. So once you're done with this, you go back up and you click on the next and release number that visited your provider. You want to click on the release number, you select the batch. Once you select the batch, you scroll down, put in the details. Remember, just only click on add to list until you are done for that particular release. Then you click on add to batch. And once you're done inputting everything for the month of July, you can now finally come here and click on final submission. If you do not click on final submission, it will remain on your own end, and we here will not be able to vet the claims. So providers will call and say, we submitted our bills for the past 1 week, for the past 2 weeks, it's still on the batching, nothing has been done. And when we go and check, we realize that yes, truly they have inputted the procedures on the portal, but they have not clicked on final submission. So what we do is to tell them to go back to their portal and click on final submission. So once they click on final submission, it tells me, please note that this submission is final and you will not be able to add any more claims to this batch. Are you sure you want to proceed? So that's why you need to make sure that everything that was done for Phillips HMO and released for the month of July were correctly uploaded. Then you click on yes, submit claims. Claims has been submitted successfully. Once you do that, it then comes to our own end, and then we will be able to process the claims for payment accordingly from our own end. So if you can see, once I click on select batch now, I'm not going to see that batch number again. The batch name for July will no longer be here because I've sent it to Phillips HMO for processing. I can no longer find the batch number. Yeah. So that's about primary care claim submission. Okay, I wanted to give an example because this is for primary care. Let's say amlodipine, an antihypertensive drugs, is a secondary procedure. So if you click amlodipine, it's not going to come out. This is because this primary care claim is basically just for primary procedures. Because some enrollees will send us mails. I'm trying to submit this particular procedure, but it's not working, it's not coming out. That's because it is not a secondary procedure. It is not a primary procedure. You can only submit primary procedures under primary care claims. Now we'll go to the next one, which is the PA claims. I click on the PA claims, and as well, the first thing I do under claims is to create a batch number. And like I said earlier, your batch name should contain the name of your provider, the month, the year, and the type of claims. So I'll go on to click Phillips test, which is the name of this provider for the month of July 2023. And now this will be secondary or pre-authorization, pre-auth claims. That's it. I click the month, July, year 2023, and I save batch. It tells me tells me batch has been created successfully. So now for me to, this PA claim submission is you do not need to start imputing the procedures one by one, because once a PA code has been issued to you, all you need to do is just to input the PA number here, and automatically all the procedures tied to that PA will come out. So right now, I think we have to go back to our pre-authorization to check the claims, to check the procedures we requested for, if they've been approved. They've been approved. So right now, you can see earlier we requested for Mr. Dewala Judge, we requested for chest x-ray, clopidogrel, amlodipine, and specialist consult. And you can see the color now is no longer yellow, which was pending. The status now is approved. And we have the PA code written boldly here. I copy out the PA number because I said earlier that we can also confirm PA under this module. You click on confirm PA and enter the PA number, click on search. It gives us the details, PA number information. It gives the ID number and the amount tied to the PA, the diagnosis, and the procedures tied to the PA number. So that's the thing about confirm PA. Now, I said earlier that you can confirm the PA to be sure that the procedures you requested for were the ones that were approved. So now that we've gotten this PA code, it's the end of the month or the beginning of a new month, and I want to submit to Phillips HMO for payment. I come to the claims and I click on PA claims. I click on PA claims. Once I click on that, it goes to now. So that's it. I have created my batch number earlier. So all I need to do is to input my PA number, get details, tells you the name, and then you select the batch. Please ensure you're selecting the correct batch for this particular person. And the batch number for this is for July 2023 period. So I just click on it and I go down. Like I said earlier, you do not need to start imputing one by one the procedures under PA claim submission, because once you put in the PA code, all the procedures tied to it automatically comes out. And you can see it's clopidogrel 30, amlodipine 30, chest X-ray 1, consult 1, and the diagnosis. I click on add to batch. There is no add to list under PA because you're not imputing one by one. This comes out, all the procedures come out at once. So you just click on add to batch. PA claims added to batch successfully. Okay. So you go on to click every PA code Phillips HMO issued to your provider for the month of July. You come down, so far so good. The total charge amount is this, the batch dates and total number of claims. And the total number of claims. Then I also need to let you know that, okay, let me cite an example. Let me come and copy a different PA number. Let me come and copy a different PA number under the pre-authorization module. Let me use this 12518. Let me copy this, and then I come here to submit under the same batch number for claims, PA claims. I put it in, and I select the batch July. General ward 4,000 naira, 2 days. So I click on add to batch. PA claims added to batch successfully. Okay. We'll come back again. Check total charge amount so far, the batch dates. I'm trying to tell you that if you, let's say, a PA code was issued in the month of April or the month of June, and you have submitted this particular PA code with the batch number for June and April, and then you come to resubmit it for the month of July, and you come to resubmit for the month of the system is not going to accept, because the system is designed in such a way that you can only submit a PA number once. So I'm trying to cite an example. Let me get a PA number submitted for, okay, let me take November 20, let me take this PA number. This was issued November 2022. So let me copy this and do as if I want to submit it in the month of July and see the error message that would pop out. Once I put in the PA number, I select batch, the month of July. It gives me gives me the details, chest X-ray, hypertension 1. So I come to click on add to batch. It's telling me error, could not add to batch. Click on OK to see the reasons, and it tells you duplicate addition. This PA has already been added to this batch or a previous batch. PA numbers can only be added to one claims batch for processing. So the system is designed that you cannot resubmit a previously submitted PA number. And there's also something else I would like to state. For providers that have different branches. Let's say, for example, Phillips Test Hospital has a branch in Bagada, then also has a branch in Ikorodu. If a PA number was issued to Phillips Hospital, Bagada, you can only impute that PA number for submission for payments under the login details of Phillips Hospital, Bagada. If you log into Phillips Ikorodu portal to submit that particular PA claims, it's going to tell you invalid PA code not issued to this provider, because the enrollee that made use of this PA code saw the doctor in Bagada branch. So it is meant to be submitted using Bagada's portal login details. But we've seen mails from a release. I'm trying to submit it to PA code. It's telling me invalid. And by the time we go and check, we realize that they were trying to submit the PA code to a different branch of their hospital where the PA number was not issued to. That's another thing we should take note of. So that's about PA claims. Okay, then we click on final. I don't think I've clicked on final submission. So we scroll down. Okay, I have. So at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month, please do what to click on final submission, because that is only when we, from our end, will be able to process the bill for payments. So that's about that. The last thing we have here is reports. Under reports, we have tariff reports, submitted claims reports, processed claims reports, and retracted PA report. Tariff report is just to give you the agreed tariff. Like I said at the beginning, once you sign in with Phillips HMO, your agreed tariff report is uploaded to your portal. So you would have your own personal copy of the tariff. But if you also want to view it from your portal, you can click on tariff report. And once you do that, it's going to bring it up and you can export to Excel. Okay, let me click on it. I click on tariff reports. And most times the tariffs are heavy, so if you tell you loading, please wait. So once it finally comes out, all you need to do is to click on export to Excel, and then it downloads to your system and you can view your agreed tariff with Phillips HMO. That's it, it's out already. So this is a tariff for Phillips Hospital with Phillips HMO. You click on export to Excel, automatically downloads, and you can open and view for your use. That's the tariff report. Then the next one is submitted claims report. This submitted claims report gives you the report of all the claims you have ever submitted in Phillips HMO portal. Just it's loading, because I would like to give an example for this particular provider. So this is it. So these are all the claims submitted so far. 56 entries. So right now we're just showing the first 7. So you can keep looking on 2, 3, 4, 5. There are another thing about this place is that you can be able to track your claim submission. The claim stage. This is under batching. When you say batching means that you have submitted and it is yet to be processed. When you see paid means we've processed, we've vetted your bills, and you've been paid. Processing means we are currently vetting the bills you submitted. And okay, there are also other levels. We have the approval, we have the batch for payments, and awaiting payments. So you can use this submitted claims reports to track your claim submission in Phillips HMO portal. Then the next one is processed claims reports. Processed claims reports is what we call payments advice. Providers send us mails that they need their payment advice to see what was vetted, how it was vetted, the amounts approved, reasons for denial, and the rest. So you just come to reports. Once you log into your portal, come to reports, click on process claims reports. You click the particular month you want to check the payment advice. For example, we'll be using the month of October. I'll click on October, and the year I will use 2022. Select the type, no odds, that's primary. Then the batch number, I'm selecting the second one, and I click on get data. So this is it, claim summary. You can't view all year, so you click on more details to expand it. So this is approved. That's why you're seeing no data found, approved. So once you click on denied, you see the denied ones, and the reason for the denial. This is a demo hospital. So, once you click on final submission, we are the ones to pay. So we automatically deny it. We deny all the procedures. That is why you see nothing under approved. But for a working hospitals like yours, once you click on it, obviously you're going to see approved. You're going to see a lot of entries under the approved. But there is nothing under approved because all the claims were denied. So under the denied, you see these are the only 2 entries under this month. There's no PA number. This is primary, so there's not going to be a PA number. You scroll to the end right, denial reason. Once you click on it, it tells you this one was denied because there was no tariff set up for this procedure or device. Then you click on the second one, procedure not allowed for this diagnosis. So this is how you get your payment advice. The reason a procedure was denied is going to show, and any other thing you want to view on your payment advice is going to show you. Then, for hospitals that submit, this is just 2. That's why I'm checking it once. But, sometimes you can submit 50 entries, 100, 200, 300. So what you need to do is to export to Excel. Once you click on export, it automatically downloads. Then you can now open and view on a singular page why a particular amount was cut down. It could be because you're billing us way higher than your agreed tariff. It could be because the procedure does not tally with the age of the enrollee, or the procedure does not tally with the sex of the enrollee. Issuing a high vaginal swab for a male enrollee automatically is going to deny it. So you see all your denial reasons there. I think I've done justice to payments advice, because we have been really sending us mails, send us payments advice, and we'll tell them to log into their portal and check the payments advice. It'll be easier for you to view on your end to see the reasons why Phillips HMO denied a particular procedure or why an amount was cut down. The last another report is retracted PA report. This is a report that gives you the PA code that was retracted from your provider. Let's say we issued a particular PA code to your hospital, and for 1 or 2 reasons under case management it was retracted. You can find it on your portal. And if the procedure was really done, retraction follows another code. So I think that's all about the Phillips HMO portal, for you to just make sure that once an enrollee comes into your provider, once comes to your hospital, you ensure the enrollee is active and can also use your provider under the home module. Then pre-authorization for you to request PA code and to confirm the PA, the claims for you to submit your primary care claims, and for you to submit your PA claims. And please ensure your batch number carries the name of your hospital, the month, the year, and the type of claims. And also ensure you click on final submission, because if you do not do that, your claims will just be pending on the portal without you being able to process for payment. Then for the reports, you can check your tariff, you can track your claim submission, you can view your payment advice, and you can check the PA reports. And as I've been responding to some providers so far, because so far so good, Phillips HMO no longer accepts any hard copy claims or send via mails. It's only online submission, because only online submissions of claims, so which I just explained and will be made easy for you. So we can go ahead now to submit all our June bills, using Phillips HMO portal, and not sending us hard copy or sending scanned copies via the mail. Thank you all very much. And that's the end of the portal training.
Thank you very much, Faith, for that training, for that session. It was very educative, quite a lengthy one, but I'm definitely sure that a lot of people have picked 1 or 2 or 3 things that concern them, because I have been seeing questions, especially regarding how to submit claims, and basically a lot of things that you have addressed here. So I'm sure that some of these questions may have even been responded to or answered by your presentation. So thank you very much for that. All right, so without wasting any further time, I would like to invite our head of finance to take us through a bit of a presentation that he has put together, addressing account numbers from our providers. So please, Mr. Olubumi Falwa, he's the head of finance, and he'll be taking us on the presentation next. Mr. Bumi, over to you, please.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bumi Falwa. I'm head of finance. Incidentally, I do not really have a slide, kind of presentation to make, just by way of comments. First and foremost, I want to really appreciate you for doing business with us. We really appreciate that business. And we are grateful that we are partnering together. Just by way of feedback, and I think we are going to appreciate this, that we are also careful in ensuring that we make payments as and when due. But in recent times, we have taken notice of a few things that we feel we should bring to your notice, particularly in the area of being able to just a moment, please. Just a moment, please. All right, thank you. So we just want to bring to our notice that we are prepared to support us and ensuring that we make our payments as and when due, promptly. And one of the things that we request us to provide us, of course, basically has to do with our bank account statement in terms of the bank name, the bank account, where it's domiciled, and much more importantly, the account number. We discover in certain times, at least for few clients, that even when we try to process for their claims, we don't have their, either they miss the first digits or the last digit. Particularly for those ones that start with 000, more often than not, you see that the first or two digits they're always omitted, and it's actually giving us a lot of problem. We always have a recourse to the operation department to assist us in getting the right account number. Of course, this also extend the time of the turnaround time in ensuring that we make the payments as and when. We have our internal timeline processes. As soon as we get claims vetted by operation, approved within the 24, 48 hours at most, we get this thing paid promptly. And of course, it's online. So it's very easy for us to get your claims paid as and when. But when we don't have the correct account numbers, it poses a lot of challenges, and we have to go back and forth. Sometimes we don't get feedbacks when we escalate them. So we want to use the opportunity to plead with us that when you are sending your account number via the invoices or the documents we share with us, please ensure that you verify, validate that those numbers are correct. We don't want whereby we're having account number that not matching with names or even with the banks. If we have this one done, I can assure you that it helps us a lot internally for us to quickly turn around and make the payments as and when due. This is the only observation we have made or in the same times, and we feel that the idea we share these things with us so that we can make amends. So in summary, we want to say again and again that we appreciate your business, but we want you to please give us the correct bank details in terms of the bank account, the name, the number, and what have you. And on that note, I want to say thank you once again for having me to share this a few things with us this morning. And I believe that going forward, we'll be able to get the correct account numbers and names as expected from us. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Thank you, Margaret. I'm done.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Bubi, for that session. So I want us to circle back to the portal training. I'm sure a lot of people have questions that they have, put down or put together concerning what our claims manager Faith Okechukwu had informed us on regarding the portal training. So please, in a very orderly manner, I want us to take some of the questions, especially like I said, regarding this portal training. I'm sure you have questions. I would first go to the Q&A, see if there's any questions that have been put down regarding this. And of course, I have some hands that have been raised here. So I'll take maybe one question from the Q&A and then of course call one of our attendees to speak to whatever it is they need clarity on regarding the portal training.
Thank you, Margaret. Please, let's restrict the question to the portal training at this point. And we're doing that before the Q&A just because we feel that the portal training questions could become stale if we don't take them now. And if she explains it, it will sink better. So please, let's restrict every question to the portal usage and all of that. Other questions, we'll take them in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I think some of the questions here are mostly from people who do not have the portal link. I have Priska Chibuike Ugu. She said, can we have the link to your portal for our facility, First Opticians Eye Clinic? Yes, I don't think Faith would necessarily have to respond to that. So we will definitely indicate this and of course, send the portal link to you as well. We also have another question from, he said, my name is Awonusi Kayode from Divine Dental Home. We don't have any login details to the portal yet, and we have not submitted our May and June bill. Kindly help us send the portal login details to the below email. Since I have the training now, I can submit it. All right, thank you so much, Kayode John. We will definitely share that with you shortly. I also have another person here. Kindly send the portal link. So I think everybody, or to a large extent, people want the portal link. So we will definitely be sharing that. All right, let me go to the hands that we have raised, some of our participants.
Okay. Hello, Maggie. Maggie, sorry, I think there's one question that popped up on my screen. Just a minute, please. From Alpha Clinic, Alpha Clinic Sagamo. It says, please, in the case of requesting authorization within 24 hours, the enrollee is admitted. In a situation where the enrollee is admitted, let's say Saturday late in the evening, and work closes by 4 p.m., which means there is no HMO officer to request for the authorization. Please, what should be done in such case? Because that will require requesting for authorization on Monday, which is already past 24 hours. Well, in Phillips HMO, our contact agents are on ground 24/7. They work with, there is no time you send us emails that will not respond to. So even by that 4 p.m. late Saturday evening, you can still send us the mail and we'll give the approval code for the admission. I hope that has answered the question.
Please, sorry, they're asking that their own HMO officer closes by 4. That's what they are saying, not our side. They are talking of their own HMO officer who has closed by 4. So there's nobody to request for the code. That's what they are saying. But the question is, can't a nurse who is on duty, who is attending to the patient, ask for the code? If that is not feasible, then we can deal with that as an isolated case.
Okay. Yes, sir. I believe they heard you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
The person that has the question, does that address it so that we know that it's clear and we can move on?
You can just, the person can just type his or her response here to ensure, to show us that it's been understood. Okay, so I have another one here from Famo Clinic. Should, in case we have an authorization code given on behalf of a patient who is on admission, how can the code be updated should, in case more services were added after code was given?
Okay, so for the question, once an approval code has been given for admission, we update the code with the remaining days of admission at the end of the admission when the enrollee has been discharged. Then if any other procedure is to be carried out for that enrollee while on admission, please do well to send us a mail or request via the portal, and we will keep updating the code accordingly.
Okay, thank you, Faith. So let's jump to people that have raised their hands. I could see here that a lot of people had already raised their hands, even I think probably before the portal training. So I'll just call one after the other, and if it's something that has to do with the portal training, please go ahead. So I have Michael Ukwe. Please, you can unmute yourself and speak. Thank you so much. Is Michael Okwe still on the call? Okay, I think we can move to the next person. Adewusi Adiola. Is Adewusi Adiola still here? You've been unmuted, so you can go ahead and speak, please. Okay, so
Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you, please. Go ahead.
My name is Adiola from Mountain Hospital Limited. So my complaint is this, that during the process of the training, I couldn't see the training procedures that the provider manager gave throughout this section. But after she's done with the training, I could see that your picture pop out. I could see that I didn't see anything all through the training. But we have been using the portal. But I think maybe there are some new procedures, there are some new outlines that might have been stated. We couldn't see. We're just seeing the write-ups on the link. That's just it. That's what I want to say. And I've been sending a message out to this while stating I can't see anything. So maybe there's anything, you should just let us know so that we can work on it.
Okay,
That's
thank
all
you
I have.
so much. All right, thank you so much. So what we would do is we would share a link, a YouTube link to this presentation so that you can maybe click on that link and then have the portal training, look through the portal training again for yourself. I believe that would resolve your issue.
But yes, yes, yes. That's okay.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. All
You're
right. So
welcome,
we'll
ma'am.
quickly, thank you, ma'am. All right. We'll quickly move to the next person. We have Adanike John, Dr. Adanike John.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my question is, first of all, not related to the portal training, but a serious complaint. And maybe after I give the preamble, you may fix another time for me to call or give me another number. One, we don't have access to your portal, like every other person have been saying. And I tried to put it in the question, but you have closed the question. So my hospital is Zion Ukwe Hospital. We don't have access to your portal. Then secondly, last year when this training was
Hello, sir.
the president anchor, I have this patient from Rodin Cyberspace Network. Cyberspace Network.
Okay, sir.
They came to, yeah, they rushed the one of the enrollee, the daughter, febrile convulsion in the afternoon to my hospital because I was the provider when they were with Rodin. The patient authorization from Rodin, febrile convulsion, and Rodin said they are no more active. The mother was not around, it was the neighbor. The father was also at work. So when they came back in the evening, they brought your card that they have changed. They gave them one card in the office and it's Phillips. And I contacted Phillips. Luckily, Phillips said, yeah, we are on their provider. And I think they gave me authorization. But of course, we've admitted that child. We've started treatment for over some hours. Something that happened in the afternoon. The parent came back late in the night. And I sent this bill. Since that time, our bill was not attended to. Secondly, on this, your survey, I was trying to avoid the first two questions because I haven't used your portal before. I have been requesting from your staff, send the portal link to us, send the portal link to us. They have refused. We had a terrible case last time, a fracture, multiple fracture, rushed to my hospital. What do you want us to do? We don't have any way to link. We sent email, we called, there was no response. We started the treatment. The response only came later in the night that the enrollee is not covered with orthopedic treatment. I hope after this lecture, you will attend to my case. Otherwise, I have made up my mind that before your message came, that I want to write an official letter to say, well, I cannot continue this way. I have some bills down. I have my May bill. I have my June bill. I cannot submit because anytime I send the hard copy, recently I got some 3 payments. I don't know explanation. Now I have one special case of a hypertensive patient, you see, from the same cyber link, who was attending, who the Rodin clinic, Rodin hospital, the same Rodin, HMO, referred to me. They transferred the case to me. Every month, this patient come for amlodipine, lisinopril, propranolol, and Adomet, as prescribed by Rodin, with vasoprine and atorvastatin. And what do you want me to do in such a case? I sent this bill. It was not attended to by you people. Maybe you think it's a secondary case. So maybe after this, you can, my telephone number is there. Maybe you can let us discuss this thing officially, or otherwise I'm tired.
Yeah. All right, so, sorry about that, sir. I just quickly want to respond just so that we can save the time. We apologize for whatever experience you had. Dr. Eze I'm sure is taking note. He will reach out to you, and whatever issue you have, we will assure you to be resolved. And just to also let you know that if the correspondent was coming to the right source, it's difficult for me to believe that they will not respond because we are responsive. I don't know what will have happened. I don't know what happened to the correspondence, whatever, but let's just take that out, like you said, and they will reach out to you. The portal links have been sent to all providers. I don't know why yours didn't get through to you, and it's something that we keep doing. And of course, all the issues you raise are issues that can easily be addressed. So sorry about the experience. They will resolve it with you, sir. Please take note, get in contact with them, and then get the matter resolved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that. Regarding the portal as well, we have dropped the link again on the chat box. So please, you're able to also take it up from there. But just as my MD has said, we would engage you outside this platform. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll move next to the next person. We have Owolola Bethel. Your hand has been raised as well. So please, you've been unmuted. You can go ahead and speak. Bethel Owolola. Is he or she on the call? She, I believe. Okay, I think we can move to Mr. Yakubu Ocheme. Your hand was also raised. If you have any questions, please, you can go ahead and speak now. Okay, so while that is going on, let me see if we have any more questions from the QA chat box. Someone had asked, are we free? Okay, let's narrow it down to just the portal. From Inland Medical Center, Emmanuel Ogedengbe. He said from Inland Medical Center, we are having problems using the portal. A service procedure could not be found. What measures are you taking to make sure that the portal works effectively again? Faith, would you want to answer that? Faith? Inland Medical Center said they're having problems using the portal as service procedure could not be found.
Okay, let me, since
Are they using? Okay.
Go on, Faith.
Okay, they might be using the former portal login details before the new upgrade. So I would send them the new. I think the new portal link has been sent now generally, so they can try logging in with that, and I believe that would be resolved.
Hello, Dr. Zay. I think you should use your
I felt like
opportunity
I had.
So sorry,
Go
Margaret.
ahead.
There is a use
Go ahead,
opportunity to give clarity on this issue so that you can address other people who may have a similar thing on the new portal ID after the upgrade, and what they need to do, those who don't have it, and how they can reach out and get it, please.
Okay, first and foremost, apologies to everyone who has been encountering challenges because we did an upgrade, and the upgrade is of course towards making the partnership and our processes more seamless. So if you are still having issues, first and foremost, you can reset your password. Then secondly, try the new link, like Faith has just said. Then thirdly, because there might now be some specific peculiarities which we might not know from our end, you can do us a mail at HCP so that we know what your own particular issue really is, so that we'll be able to resolve it as soon as possible.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Eze, for that. I believe that would bring us to this initial, to the end of this initial Q&A session. We still have, like I had said, we still have the proper Q&A session where we will definitely address all questions outside portal training. We have taken a few that have been on portal training. Like I said earlier, for everyone that has been asking for the portal login, we are dropping the login, we are responding to you, and of course, dropping the login details. So you can lift that and of course, put it on any browser like Faith had shown us. And of course, with your login details, you're able to log into the portal to perform whatever tasks that you have. All right, so I believe at this point, I would also like to reiterate the survey. Please go ahead and pick up the survey link. Please click on it and fill out the survey. Go ahead and drop your phone numbers as well so that we can attend to your data gifts, of course, once you have completed the survey. So please go ahead and do that as the session is going on. So I believe at this point, we would like to invite our head of BD to give us a brief presentation on some of our services that we believe would come very handy to some of our providers here. So I would like to welcome Mr. Femi Duduyemi to please take on his presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Margaret. And also, I want to thank all our providers, our esteemed providers across Nigeria for the support with Phillips HMO over the years. Please confirm if you can hear me.
I can hear you, please. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. So I'm not going to be following the slides as it were, but I will just speak over it
relate many of the information to what we're probably like us to know so quickly. So want to thank everyone for actually all we've been doing together over the years. Quickly, I want to say how we can also have some other handshake with our providers, not just only to refer people to you and also for them to attend to our staff, and release and probably have some interaction with us. How can we also become business partners in some ways? That is part of the reason why I wanted to talk to us. The number one, I have seen providers also that could actually be able to become like partners to us. In other words, we have people working to your facilities. We have some HRs speaking about the frustrations they are having with their current HMOs. We have many HMOs also that probably they are actually giving you issues that you are not even able to meet up with attending to their staff because of non-payment. But once you know that, well, or probably one way or the other, the mode of communications are not really there. And you can also refer companies to us. Sometimes some release mentioning to you when they come to your facility, we are even tired of our HMOs. And sometimes they even come to ask you that, why don't you suggest to us HMOs that you they can also use, that they are tech friendly, they have, because for us to be able to actually start the Phillips HMO, we came into the industry identifying the major challenges that HMOs have been having, and we tactically provided solutions to them. So which comes with delay of assessing care at the hospital. They have to call and call and call. Provider payment also does not come. You know how we pay you also. Early registration also, most of the time they want to access care at the hospital and the HMO is telling them they are not registered. Phillips HMO don't have all those issues. ID card problem, we will use more of an e-card for them to be able to access care at your place. Then the HMOs are not accessible. So when do you have a lot of these enrollees being frustrated at your centers, you can always tell them I'm a Phillips HMO, give them a few, some of our information through the call center and also sales at Phillips HMO. I will get there later. When people say they have lost interest in their HMO and the likes, please, Phillips HMO will be very handy to be the HMO that you are going to refer to them. So somebody may want to ask me, the next point is, somebody may want to ask me, okay, if I refer any enrollee to you, so what happens? What is my benefit? I want to tell you that it's a reward system also for you to be able to get a form of whatever you call it. It can be an incentive, it can be like commission and the likes, and you are going to be recognized by the law, and you are going to, and this tells you is in percentage. So one way or the other, I think one way or the other, you can also smite to the bank, depending on the size of the business. And I'm sure that some of these companies come to you also, they want to also confide in you or probably ask for advice and referrals from you. You can also make some money at the side, apart from being our provider, also to be a partner with Phillips HMO in terms of business generation. The third thing I want to mention also is we have some companies that have been dealing with you as a retainership. And some of them are now saying they are switching to be able to have an HMO, and they are also confused, probably, or not being sure about the HMO to also deal with. So as to be able to also retain your business one way or the other, even if it's moving from retainership, since we have you as our provider also, by referring Phillips HMO to them also, you have a way of retaining your release also in a way. So instead of HMO companies or your clients that are having retainership with you, wanting to take the whole business away and give it to an HMO that does not have any relationship with you, why not mention that if they are switching from retainership to HMO, Phillips HMO will really be on hand to be able to do this for them, and it looks as if it's a continuation of your business. And now the advantage also, you are now going to be open to more enrollees apart from the ones that are close to you that you have been managing with them before, and you will be able to have access to more enrollees. You can see on the screen also, this we have a lot of products and services also that you might also want to think that it's only corporate organizations that we undo, apart from the private health insurance, which is corporate, SMEs, and retail. You understand that we also have school plans. You may want to also because in case some of us also have these services you give to clients, maybe pre-employment services, also preschool, medical examinations and annual medical checks and the likes. We can also collaborate with you to do this. In case some companies said, okay, they wouldn't want to give it directly, or for people to go to hospital directly, they want a form of regulation. You can always tell them, okay, there's an HMO that can do it for you very well. Pre-employment and preschool examination and all of those ones also. Then we have T-SHIP, which is tertiary institution. Some of us can find ourselves in places where you have major institutions by the federal government or the state government or private also. Do you know that you can also refer them to us, while we also recognize you as the company or the individual that is able to do that for us, and there's also an incentive to that effect. We have social health insurance also through the NHIA also, we have that. Then we have TPA also, which is third-party administration. We have, I've mentioned medical screenings, international plan, worksite clinics, and the likes also. Everyone, state health insurance and the likes are there. So we are not only dealing with a few of the ones that we know, so you can refer them to us appropriately, and you will be handsomely rewarded for this. And another thing I want to just mention is we have some other educational services in which we hold webinars at least every 4 months or every 3 months, and which we like also you to also be a part of it, because we have a lot of enlightenment. I will tell you, in this last 1 month, we had something that was well attended. We had a webinar that has to do with kidney diseases and transplants, in which people are trying to tread that particular area gently in Nigeria, and so as not to be at the wrong side of the law. And a lot of people were really enlightened. We have speakers outside Nigeria that spoke, and they are, incidentally, they are Nigerians that spoke very well on this. So we have quite a number of educational materials. We have also things that we send, newsletters also. If you like to subscribe also, it keeps you updated also. So we have quite some other value-added services. We roam totally. In other words, you might want to mention it to your client also, or to your enrollees, to be able to enjoy the well pharmacy benefits also. We try to take the burden off you also, in case you don't have the medications available. We partner with pharmaceutical centers across Nigeria also to work with you, not to give you so much headache, especially some of those ones that have expiry dates are very close. Fee for service also, we don't bother you with a lot of list and saying that monthly list, also capitation and the likes. We make sure that you are able to attend to these people as when they come to your company. So I've mentioned a few things about our product and services, what you can be able to get. These are a few numbers of major of our clients. I'm sure you can relate with a lot of these brands. So many of them also that may feel that or probably they have issues with their HMOs, you can always, so that's to tell you that if we have many of these companies that you can see, they have high demand on quality and excellence, and they are with Phillips HMO. So you can always mention us to them also, and definitely if it will not be for free also, we'll make sure that you are handsomely rewarded also. I'm sure you can relate with many of these brand. So in case you now want to be able to take this further, please, you might want to write this this contact down, sales@phillipshmo.net, and the phone number is there also. The info also, you can always do this also, and HCP, any one of this also, you use it to contact us. And please, you just mentioned that this is not just for enrollees, this is for referrals, as we mentioned in the last providers from. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Femi Dudiemi. Once again, we're going to also put this contact email address and phone numbers at the chat box so that you can also mention it. Don't forget, we want to partner with you also in terms of sales and for you to be able to get some other rewards and some kind of benefit also, not just for attending to our enrollees, but being our partner also by referring to you. Thank you very much for your time. Over to you, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Femidi. Thank you. That was very educative. I'm sure we picked one or two things from his presentation. All right, so we are going to go right into the Q&A section now. So at this point, everyone that has had questions that we have not responded to, I would of course try to navigate between the Q&A, between the chat box and the participants that we have that have raised their hands. Please ensure to, make your questions brief so that we can attend to it quickly and of course move to the next person. We have quite a number of questions here. We have over 90 something questions that we would be going through. So it's going to be quite an interesting one. So of course, if we address any question that has already been addressed in the past, we would automatically skip that. So questions like portal training and the portal link have already been addressed. So we would be skipping some of those questions. All right, so we have one here from Afolabi who said, good morning, this is Folabi from First Heritage Hospital Motion. We need a tariff review ASAP. What do we do? So I'd like to address this question to Dr. Ekpo.
Good afternoon. Just write us a mail at hcp@phillipshmo.net.
All right, thank you so much for that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right then. We have another question from Olasimbo Adetokunbo. She's asking, are we free to attend to any patients that came through emergency without any confirmation from the HMO? Dr. Ekpo, go ahead, please.
So so for emergency cases, yes. So when the patient has been stabilized, immediately the patient has been stabilized, you can now get in touch with us so that will give you an authorization.
All right, thank you so much.
Sorry, Margaret, let me just add something to that. Thank you, Dr. Ekpo. I think one aspect of that question would be the identity of the patient. So if the patient is a Phillips HMO patient, then what Dr. Ekpo says applies. But if the patient is not our patient or our enrollee, then we will definitely not be able to take responsibility for that. So it's important that when a patient is brought in, at least the first question to ask is which HMO. Okay, and if they have an ID, we can look at it. But if the people say, oh, they are Phillips HMO, fine, then we can mediate, intervene, and get across to us as quick as possible, as he said. But if they said it's not Phillips HMO, then that means the correct HMO is the one to be contacted. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We have Samuel Bassi here who's asking, can these presentations be sent via our email on request? I'm using this platform to make the request for these PowerPoint presentations or any other documents to serve for reference. I think I can respond to that, yes, we would be sharing a link where you can have access to this presentation and all the PowerPoint presentations that have been done. So you can reference it at any point in time. Thank you so much. So if you also want to send to you via email, you could send us an email at hcp@phillipshmo.net and we would be sure to share that with you. All right, I also have Hyacinth Obasi. She's asking, with regards to claim payments, can claims submitted be paid on time, say 1 to 2 weeks from time of submission? I don't know if there's any modalities to claims payments that you may want to address here so that this can be done promptly. Dr. Eze?
Yes, well, let's still keep it for the contract we normally have. So let's keep it for a month because of processes and some things that might not be in place. So 30 days from submission, yes.
Yeah, but thank you, though. They can be earlier too. I think he's just giving you probably the standard period, but there are many times that we do earlier. So if the claim is sent on time, like they said, just at the end of the month and properly sent, the likelihood that we process quickly and pay quickly is also there. Thank you. Look at the
All
earlier.
right, all right, thank you, sir. We also have Victor Umor. We are coming into contact with Phillips HMO for the first
Sorry,
time.
Margaret, sorry, let me just add again that it's actually
Okay.
earlier, not that it can be earlier, it's actually earlier. But why the people give that was just because of several times there are back and forth with providers and some of the claims are not properly sent. But if everything is fine, definitely around 2 weeks is possible. It's what we work towards. All right, thank you.
Okay. So we have Victor Moore here, who's saying that they're coming in contact with Phillips HMO for the first time, but had to complete the survey. Thank you so much for that. He's asking, how will you access our responses, which were supposed to be compulsory? I believe we have a backend access to have all of these responses. So like a repository. So definitely we have access to all the responses and the people who had taken the survey. So we can see that as well. Some questions are also pertaining to portal training and portal logins. Like I've said, we have dropped the link. So quickly pick that up, place it on any of your browser, and you can have access to the portal with your login details. All right, we will quickly move to those who have had their hands up, participants that have had their hands up. I have an Anthony Rosemary here. Anthony Rosemary. You're unmuted now, so please, if you're on the call, please go ahead and speak. All right, another question here says from Ben Kuba. This is Springs Clinic, Aba. We have been given username and password, yet no enrollee assigned to our hospital yet.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, okay, go ahead and speak, Anthony Rosemary. Go ahead and speak, please. Thank you.
It is Antonio Rosemary from
Thank
Solid
you.
Rock Hospital, Ojodu.
All
Hello.
right. Yes,
Hello,
we can hear you, Ma. Go ahead with your question.
Okay.
Go ahead with your question.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I only observe whenever I'm handling Phillips HMO, I only observe that most of the drugs, precisely injections, are not on the no hot portal. So last week, I listed so many of them out and mailed Phillips HMO. So when I opened the mail, they got back to me that they will channel my request to the right channel. So ever since then, I've not seen anything. Most of them, like Cipro, Clozazine, most of the antibiotics and injections, they are not there. Even common paracetamol injections, they are not on the no hot portal. Primary no hot portal, they are not there.
Okay, Ma, we'll look into that and get back to you because this is the first time we are getting that complaint.
Okay.
So we'll look into it and we'll get back to you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Ma. Okay, Ma.
All right.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. I would move to the second person who has their hands raised now. We have Victor Moore. Victor Moore, you are unmuted. Please go ahead and drop your question and or contribution, please. Are you still on the call, Victor Moore?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, please. We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, my question actually has been answered. That I had to answer, do the survey without being on your list of providers. It's been answered. Yes.
Oh, okay, sir. All right, no problem. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
All right, we have the next person, ProCare Vision Eye Clinic. ProCare Vision Eye Clinic. Are you still on the call, please? You can go ahead and speak now. All right, so just to add to this, if your question has already been answered, please, you can also go ahead and drop your hand so that we can see other people who have still not been attended to, because there's quite a number of hands that we still have up. All right, we would move to the next person. We have Ruben Prestige. We have Ruben Prestige. Your hand is raised. Please, you've been unmuted. You can go ahead and speak now. Okay, if Ruben Prestige is not available, I will take another question. We have a question concerning sending bill to the portal that is not opening the provided section. So I have a question concerning sending bill to the portal that is not opening the provider section. I believe Faith is actually typing an answer to that now, so you will get an answer shortly for that particular question. All right, Kayode John, are you on the call, please? You can go ahead and speak now. Kayode John, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead and drop your question.
Okay, hello, good afternoon all.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, so we have two branches. We have one Victoria Island and we have one in Ikorodu, and we have not been given login detail before.
Hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, and we have two branches, VI and Ikorodu. So and we need a separate login detail for both branches, and then we'll never have any login detail before. So that's what I want to know. Are we going to be using the same login detail for VI and for Ikorodu, or are they going to create to us separate login detail for VI and Ikorodu? And then we have some pending bill that we have not submitted, so which we want to submit.
All right, thank you, sir. Dr. Ekpo.
So since the two of them are autonomous, we'll create two different logins for them. Then concerning your claims, I didn't really hear what you said about your claims and submission.
The claim have not been submitted, so we have pending claim on ground. So they say that we have to submit via the portal, and then we don't have the portal login details. So that's why we have been submitted for May and then for the month of June, to be precise.
Okay, what's the name of your hospital again, sir?
Divine Dental Home, Dental Clinic. And another thing, when they're doing the maybe the portal usage, they didn't mention about the dental care, how we are going to generate, and then how we are going to navigate via the portals. So I don't know, maybe the same procedure since we are a secondary provider. So we can always use, maybe we are going to use some other portal that we have been using to maybe navigate on your own portal, or there is a specific area of navigation. So maybe they can reintrade that for us as a dental provider.
Okay, sir. I've taken down your details. We'll get across to you. We'll get across to you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get across. We can resolve this.
Yeah, there is, in addition, the submission of claims is the same procedure like Faith took them through. The portal, the claims and all that. Maybe Faith, you could speak to that, because it may not be the only one that may have that concern, whether dental. I want to believe that it's the same procedure of submitting claims, just that there are places you may select something. Faith, can you please clarify that for the sake of others who probably will benefit from it?
Okay, sir. So every dental and even optical, everything to be done under them as secondary care, including the consultation to the screening, to the eye test, to the eye drugs, to everything that is done for an enrollee in a dental facility are all tied to an approval code. So all you need to do is to submit your claims using the PA claims module. You have no relationship with the primary because you're not a primary service provider. Just go to the PA, create your batch number, input the PA number, and all the services done for that particular enrollee will come out, and you click on that to batch. So it's same procedure. I hope this is explanatory enough.
Thank you very much. Very simple. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much for that. We have a Titus Ilori here who has asked if a patient is admitted, for example, from 28th June to 3rd July 2023, how do we manage it on the portal? Should we prepare it as a June or July bill?
Okay, it's to be submitted as a June bill because they really came to your facility in the month of June and was admitted in the month of June. So you can submit it in the month of June. But if you have already submitted your June bill to Phillips HMO before this enrollee was discharged, and okay, yeah, that's true, because this enrollee was discharged in July, and that is when you want to upload the procedures on the portal. So you can submit it then in the month of July. Is this
Hello,
understood?
Faith.
Did you
I
hear
think you
me?
broke off at some point. I think you broke off at some point. You may want to take the last line.
Okay, I said this
You said
person was
something about
admitted.
if the enrollee was discharged in July.
Yes, if the enrollee was discharged in July, and that is when the provider would want to upload the procedures on the portal for submission. So you can submit it as a July bill. But there is another, you can submit as a June supplementary bill by creating a separate batch and naming it June supplementary batch number and submit the bill.
Okay, Faith, sorry, let me just ask seek a bit of clarification on behalf of the providers, just so that the information will be useful for everyone from their end. So a provider receives encounter in the month of June, and June has 30 days, June has ended. It begins to, although ideally from what you have told them before, they should not wait till the end to start preparing their claim. But if they want to now, assuming they left the claim for June and it's in July, they are now trying to upload the claims. What month would they nomenclature? Would they call it June bill or July bill? That's all the encounters were June, but they are trying to process it. That's to upload it, say 1st or 2nd of July.
Yeah, so it's still going to be a June bill because the enrollee was at the facility in the month of June. So what I'm trying to ask to this is, let's say, like the person asked, 28th of June was admission date, and this person was discharged 3rd of July. So if you don't, because that 3rd of July, you can't submit July bill then because then we'll still come in for the month of July. So all you need to do is to create another batch number. You can call it June supplementary batch and then submit for this particular enrollee because his own treatment entered the month of July. Is that understandable?
All right, thank you very much, Faith. I'm sure.
Thank you.
MD, do you have anything to add? Okay, we can move to Samuel Bassi. He said about the portal, are we to create a batch per enrollee for PA claims or per month of encounter? The same question applies for no auth claims.
For every claims you want to submit on the portal, you have to create a batch number for a month. If you have 20 enrollees that came into your provider for the month of May, all of them still fall under the singular batch for a month. You don't go ahead creating a single batch for every enrollees that come. No, you create a single batch number and then you input all the enrollees encounters inside that singular batch for the month.
Okay, thank you, Faith. We actually have,
Margaret, sorry, let me
yes,
also add something. Please, Dr. Ipo, I think this is fine with you because I know that's what people do. For any hospital or provider that after this session of training, you still have some clarifications or some questions, some take-through, so to speak, for concerning the Portal 20, please feel free to send a mail or reach out to us through the channels, and they will be able to take you further through the portal to give you clarification. So the point I'm making is that if you are not clear about any of these, do not just end it here and be stranded. Feel free to reach out, and they can arrange for a meeting online like this, and they can put you through your portal challenges you have. Dr. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just so that people are reassured, that our provider, our partners are reassured that whatever challenges they may have, please reach out and you'll be put through, so that you'll be very conversant with the portal usage and you can go through it seamlessly without difficulty. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. This is not a question. I think it's just a contribution. Ode Abang says, good day. I really appreciate your prompt payments to our June bill. Thank you very much, Ode. We appreciate your services to our enrollees as well. There's a question here from Redeemers Health Center. Thank you for the presentation. This is Mary from Redeemers Health Center. In a case where a particular service like vaccine is not on the portal, and mails have been sent to Phillips HMO concerning uploading the vaccine on the portal, and nothing was done about it, what should the facility do?
Well, the matter is that when we get such mails, we usually update on the portal. So I think the question would be whether the mail got to us at all. And that was why I was stressing our email address today, because I found out that a lot of times we send our mails to the wrong email addresses. Even this morning, some man got in touch with the call center. He's not even our enrollee, but his name is Phillips, and he's been getting mails, and he's not even connected to our HMO in any way, aside from the fact that his name is Phillips. And sometimes, so I noticed that the Phillips is actually double. Some people put only one L instead of two L's. But so that being said, you can re-forward the email to hcp@phillipshmo.net, and it will be dealt with as soon as possible, urgently.
Thank you very much, Jock, for that. Let me go to people who have their hands raised. I have Sacred Heart Hospital, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Please, your hand has been raised. I think you even dropped a message for permission to speak. So please, you can go ahead and drop your contribution now. Sacred Heart Hospital, Abeokuta, Ogun State. If you're still on the call, please, you can go ahead and speak.
Hello?
Yes, please, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning. My name is Anne, calling from Sacred Heart Hospital, Andrew.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We have a complaint. Yes, we have a complaint. I've been using the portal like for a while now. But then recently, anytime I log into the portal.
No, and not recently. It has been long, and it's our major concern.
Yes.
That we cannot log into the portal, and it's giving us problem. And we think that there should be an alternative to the portal. A lot of link has been sent. In fact, the link has been repeatedly sent to us
through mail,
and nothing has been done, not improvement. So please, how can we get it done? It seems that the portal is somehow rigorous or somehow heavy, maybe for the system or for the internet.
Yeah, because other HMOs were able to log into their portal.
They're able to log into their portal.
So it's
We
not
are
a
doing
matter
their
of
bit
network
every month. It's
connection.
not about matter of system or the internet.
Like we use Google Chrome, and like once you just click on the portal, when we click on the providers, it should just be saying error connection, error connection.
Okay, have you tried the new
All right,
link
thank you.
we sent out today?
Yes.
Have you
Did you
tried
try
the
accessing the new link that we
new
just sent
link we sent
to
out
see
today?
if you
Have you
still
tried
get the
it?
same?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, in that
So please,
sense,
can we just send it to the mail because it's mail bill and like can we just send it through mail for now?
okay, so in that sense, since you've exploited all your options, I will get our IT team to talk to you so that we'll know where the issue is, so that it can be properly resolved.
Okay, if they can talk to you, that would be better.
Yes, we'll get them to talk to you as soon as possible. Yes.
Okay.
All right, please. Can we have your phone number? You can put down your phone number on the group chat here, please. Just put down your phone number and possibly an email address so that we can get across to you.
And the name of the hospital tied to it so we know whose phone number it is.
Okay. Okay,
All
let's
right, thank
give
you
you
so
our office line. Our office line.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, is 081.
No, please just type it out and drop it on the chat, please. I think
Okay,
the lady
we type
had
it out.
initially dropped a message. Yes, please just type it out so that we can lift it from there.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You have to call that now. If they can't do it now, there should be
Okay,
an alternative.
so we have
so that the green can't be.
We have the next person, Kate Michael. Your hands have been raised. Kate Michael, if you're still on the call, please go ahead and drop your question. Kate Michael. Is Kate Michael still on the call? All right, I think we can move to ROA Hospital. Your hand has also been raised. ROA Hospital. You're muted and you can go ahead and speak now if you're still on the call. Okay, we have another question from Samuel Bassi. Still on the portal, encounter forms were given to facilities during onboarding. Are we still to use it given the fact that effective from July this month, claims should be submitted via portal only? Are we to still email an attachment of monthly encounters, or is there a provision on the portal for such, or better still, should we discontinue its use?
Everything now goes on the portal. The portal captures everything.
All
right. Thank you so much for that.
Sorry, Margaret. Hello, Margaret. Just one moment. Just an addition to what Dr. Eze said. Dr. Eze, remember, he mentioned the second leg of encounter data that he wants to send us an email. The non-auth services, will you get encounter data of them since they are non-auth services? So I think, I don't know whether that second aspect of this question is clear, but I'm thinking that the encounter data should still be sent as an email separately while the claims are sent through the portal. I don't know whether you have something to say to that.
Yes, I get you. Well, we don't see. Okay, Faith, speak to that though. Hello, Faith.
Okay, sir. Yeah, well, sending the attachment of monthly encounters, they can say go ahead to send it while they submit the individual services on the portal.
Okay, so I think it's clear that they can send the monthly encounter by mail but for the claims, it should be through the portal. Thank you. That's what you said. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. We have another question here from Emmanuel Ezenwobi. Please, can two billing officers access the portal at the same time?
Yes, they can. If they have the username and the password, they can.
All right. Thank you so much. Another question by Odeabang. Thank you for prompt payment of our June claims, but we were denied 3,940 in the non-off claims without reason for the deduction. Kind review and resolve. This is from Stephen, their HMO officer. I'm not sure there's a name to this provider. So Odeabang, if you're still on the call, please, you may want to drop the name of your provider or probably send us an email through the channels so that we can take it up from there.
Yeah, but let me also address that. On the portal, we don't just, when we claim, we give reasons for not making payment. So you should be able to get your payment advice on the portal, which will show the reason why, if any money was deducted, why that amount was deducted, because we don't just remove money arbitrarily. So it should be on your portal. And if you don't know how to do that, you could do us a mail and one of our agents will get across to you.
All right, thank you very much, Doc. Let's go to people who have raised their hands. Hyacinth Obasi, if you're on the call, please, you can go ahead and let us know your contributions or questions. You've been unmuted,
Yeah.
please. Go ahead and state it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my concern is about the tariff. I complained about 2 weeks ago, though I've just submitted my June claims for the PA and the no odds claims. I've submitted them about an hour ago. The tariff is still the same. I complained about the very poor tariff and the need for an upward review, a holistic review, both the consultations, procedures, and laboratory and drugs. I sent a mail to that effect, and someone reached out to me. I had a phone conversation with one of the care providers, and I sent my proposed tariff to them, which they looked at, and then at the end of the day, they reached back to me and told me that the disparity was a little bit on the high side from, as in my claims, as in my proposed tariff was on the high side. Now, trying to move forward, the tariff was adjusted. After the adjustment, it has not been effected on the portal. The claim I just submitted now is still the old tariff that is still there. So I thought I was going to put a call across, but I thought, okay, let me use the opportunity of this forum to air my view and say I'm not really pleased with that. At least since we've come to an agreement about a particular tariff, I mean, by now it should have been uploaded in my portal so that I won't be using the old, very poor old tariff. So that's, I don't know how soon the new tariff will be uploaded to my portal link. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Obasi. Dr. Eze, would you like to address that?
Sorry, which provider is it?
The Stevens Hospital in Ikorodu.
And what?
Stevens.
Oh, Stevens. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, even after, I'll have to look into this, but even after, if there's any kind of review, it has to go through some process before it is matched. So I feel that is what might still be going on, but I'll find out from my team. I will get back to you to know where the delay is coming from.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
sir. Sorry, Dr. Let me just. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now,
we can
sir.
hear you now, sir.
Okay, thanks. So just for purpose of clarity, there is a process that goes on, and I think this information needs to be available to all the partner providers. There is already a structure of the tariff on our system, that is the portal. And when providers send their own tariff with different format, it becomes a bit of an issue in trying to rearrange and realign and map the tariff. So this will be a plea to us as well as providers, because that's part of what may have delayed this situation. Because when the tariff is not coming in line with our own format that we're giving to you, if you use that our format that's given to you and you make your own adjustment on it, and we discuss and we're able to arrive at something amicable for both parties, it's easier for you to just go into the system. But some providers just send their own tariff on a different format completely. Maybe they started with admission, they started with one procedure, they started with this, started with drug, and that is a whole gamut of manual procedure to start realigning their own structure of tariff with our already existing structure in the portal. And the portal will not accept anything that is outside the format created in the portal, because it's tied to ICD-10 coding and it's already a software programming. So I want to appeal to providers that it is going to be easier for you and faster for any agreed tariff to be uploaded if you follow our format of structure, because our format of structure is replica of what is on the portal. If you use that and you make adjustment on our own tariff, it becomes easier for us to conclude on it, and then it can be easily uploaded onto the portal. I think that is why we're having this bit of delay, because it takes a very laborious process in realigning, reconfiguring, remapping, and rearranging manually and all of that before it can go into the portal. Please, I think this will be a call of appeal to providers, just so that your tariff can be uploaded very quickly. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Benebo. I don't know if that addresses your concern.
Hello.
Obasi, yes, please.
Yes, like what he actually pointed out, the tariff that was sent to me was the template that I think that is on the portal. So it just, I only imputed just beside the ones that I felt that there was so much disparity.
Okay.
So I just put the one I felt the amount by the side, beside each one of it, so that it should be easier for follow up. That's what I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So it's clear. So the
All
reason
right,
we look
thank
into
you.
that. But I
We
think
can no longer
is
hear you, Hyacinth Obasi.
I
Okay,
got
thank
it.
you. Yes.
Thank you, Obasi. But I think the
All
permission
right.
is useful for other providers as well. So if they do what you have done, it will be faster. So the reason we look into it and get it sorted out quickly. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We have a question here from Olubumi Oni. He's asking, my name is Promise from Irayo Dental Clinic, Ibadan. I want to ask what do we ask the enrollee to get the drugs at his primary care provider? Dr. Eze?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
He's asking in terms of drugs that they do not have. What if we don't have the drugs available? Can we ask the enrollee to get the drugs at his primary care provider?
No, never ask the enrollee to get the drugs themselves. Always get in touch with us, please. We'll resolve the issue from our end.
All right, thank you so much. Back to the hands being raised. We have ID Samuel. ID Samuel, if you're on the call, please, you can go ahead and speak. ID Samuel. I believe you've been unmuted. All right, the next person here is Anolu Polyclinic. You've had your hand raised. Can you go ahead and speak, please? Anolu Polyclinic. Hello? Okay, I think we can skip that to Peace Kayode. Peace Kayode, your hand has been raised. Please go ahead and drop your concerns or contributions.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So I have a lot of questions. So I'll start by, I don't know if this is the second person that was presenting. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, please. Go ahead.
So he made mention of not telling an enrollee that his HMO does not cover the treatment or the medication he wants to get. So please, I want to just to get how the better way to tell an enrollee that wants anything from my clinic, and I have requested for it, and he said the clinic said they cannot get it. So what better way do I need to tell the person that your coverage? Most times we will tell the person maybe their plan does not cover it. So what better way do I need to tell this person that your HMO or your plan does not cover for the treatment you want? That's another thing. And he equally said that.
Sorry, Pete. Hello.
Hello.
Pete. Sorry, I think it would be easier if I get to answer your questions before you go to the next, so that they don't fall into the cracks. So for the first question you asked, always get in touch with us, because sometimes there's some information in the contract we have with the client that you don't know about. So in such cases, get in touch with us. We will get in touch with you.
I have requested for it via email, and you tell me he's not covered. So is it me? Do I just give it out? It's not. You are not covered for it. Abi, did I do anything wrong in saying that?
Okay, fine. You didn't do anything wrong, but going forward, I think it's tidier that way. When you get in touch with us that is not covered, we will get in touch with the enrollee.
Enrollee.
Exactly.
Okay, so there is I think, let me just chip in this. Thank you. What the point she made, which you've tried to address, is that she had earlier got in touch with us, and we reverted by saying that it's not covered. So that is the loop that we need to deal with, which is the fact that, like you said, we should get across to the enrollee so that the hospital doesn't have that issue with the enrollee, where enrollee would think that it's the hospital that is denying them access to care that is not covered. So I think that's the point, and that's what you have responded to.
So you will be the one to tell them that they are not covered for it, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
So that now brings me to when the last person was asking the question, I don't really get the procedure you asked us to follow for our tariff to be reviewed, because the tariff I have for my clinic is what we've been using since 2019, and you will really agree that the economy has really started. So me using the 2019 tariff means that I am really running way below my cost. So I'm running at a loss attending to your enrollee. I'm just being frank. I'm just opening my mind to tell you how I feel about Phillips HMO. Do you get? Now, I have most of the things I have, like I said, I have in my, and if I have, are way below what is being happened. So I have someone who wants to come and buy product like cervical collar, or cervical support or lumbar support that I have there. It looks like it's 5,000 or so, and now it's at the rate of 12,000 naira. This person wants to get it. Okay, he's covered for it, but I can't sell at that price, please. So he mentioned again that your enrollee cannot pay part of the payment. and I can't sell at that price. So what do I do?
All right, to be addressed. Okay. So the way they respond to her, I think all the issues is she's learning about tariff is just simple. Like you told her, she reach out to us. So if you reach out to us with any challenge you have, we'll attend to it. So maybe you just let her know how she will reach out to us.
So, Ma, just reach out to us with your reach out to us with the name of your hospital.
Okay, this
your
is
number.
Orthopedic wellness.
Sorry?
Tafo Rehab Pelvic and Orthopedic Wellness.
Yeah, please write it down. Write it down just like the other people have done with your number. Then also send us a mail so that you can also open up a channel on our HCP email address. Then we'll take it from there, ma.
Okay. So another question that I have is on your communication.
Okay.
Like I see people complaining that the portal, like me, it's not only for HMO, it's not only for Phillips. My medical director is not the person that will run around for insurance for money. She doesn't have that strength. Sorry to say that. For me, like if your communication, number one, I don't take PA code via mail. Like call a help desk to give me a PA code. We don't do that in my clinic. So when your portal is not working for me to raise a PA code, I don't attend to any HMO patient, not only Phillips, any HMO patient enrollee. So if your portal is not available for me to raise a PA code to attend to your enrollee, sorry, that day, I'm not attending to that person because I don't take PA code because I have issues of somebody giving me and they now tell me, oh, we cannot be able to pay it because an error sending it is not correct. And on this service, I've done these services. So I can't run around for any insurance for money. So on your communication level, I have issues of where PA code is being delayed. I send mail, they're telling me, check again. And your enrollee is waiting, and which is one of our practices here. We don't keep patients waiting, no matter how busy we are. Maximum waiting here is 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And when it is coming from you, sorry, I'm going to tell your enrollee to call you. Most times they see that when they come to our clinic, they are receiving calls from you people. It's not my fault. I don't take PA code from mails if it's not coming from portal. That's my own contribution.
Okay, ma. But what I'll say to that is, in such situations, before you go extreme, always try. Let's all usually know where the issue is, because sometimes the fact that the portal is not going, we could actually quickly get one of our IT members to resolve it on the double. So before you go extreme, always carry us along. I'm sure we'll be able to come up with a solution. I also, when you have our numbers already, because my team can also get in touch with me, and I'll be able to talk to you at such moments, and we'll look for a way to make sure everything works out for everybody involved, you, the enrollee, and Phillips.
Okay, thank you, Doris. Let me just add something quickly. Thank you, Madam Peace. We appreciate your frankness. I just want to chip in something that I think would be also useful for your facility in the spirit of partnership. Like you said, HMOs use portal. That's the current thing now because the world is going digital, and we from the beginning have been positioned there. So, but you know that every human system is not 100% error proof. So also, no matter how strong an IT portal or an IT system infrastructure may be, you could have some occasional link issue or occasional downtime, occasional problem. It's not common, but when it occurs, even MTN, all those big players, they still have sometimes they have network issue or downtime. So I want to appeal to you, madam, that like the visit said, if you are not able to use the portal at that time, do not just close out any other channel in trying to see that that patient accesses care. because no human system is perfect. Even your own portal, or if you have your own EMR, it's not 100% up. So that's why there are multiple channels for communication. The portal is also what we use for PA code, and we desire people to use it because it's quite easy and quite prompt. But if for any reason at certain rare cases, you have a downtime or the link or portal issue, please reach out to another channel in the interest of the patient that you care for so much, and we also care for. Because like I said, and Dr. said, it may not be a big issue, it may just be a one little IT issue that can just be resolved immediately. That is one. Number two is that even if portal is used for code, in such circumstance where there is a little issue or downtime or any challenge, technical hitch or glitch with the portal, there could be a mediation, meaning that they could give you first a code by mail, and then when the portal is up, they can now validate it through the portal. That way, the portal code will still come on board, but at least for that interim, for that immediate situation, so that the enrollee is not kept hanging or waiting for long based on your own hospital policy. At least an email is a valid communication that you can use as a temporary basis. Then immediately the portal is up, you will now get a substantive code through the portal, and then the email will now be, there'll be a further mail to say, okay, now that the portal could have been given, the email communication is now validated. But the point I'm making is, please, in a human system, let's try to see that we have a little room for to manage any situation that sometimes comes up and it's not actually a day-to-day thing. Lastly, I will also appeal to you and maybe to your respected MD that health insurance is actually the mainstay of access to quality healthcare in the country. And with the signing of the NHIS Act, like I mentioned at the beginning, health insurance is now compulsory. It's a matter of time. And you find that everybody, even the clients you have that were not formally under health insurance, by law, they will mandated to get health insurance. So it may, in the near future, you may not be getting the revenue you are getting without a health insurance system. So it could just be a way to begin to get a bit used to work in partnership with the system, because that's actually the direction of the country. And since a law has been signed, it's just a matter of time before they enforce it and everybody will go health insurance. So let's try to see that we are able to work together, because we are partners in progress, just to see that people are able to have quality access to care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Peace. Thank you so much, MD and Dr. Efo. I believe we can move to the next person here. So I have Ode Abang with his hands raised. I believe I treated his question. He typed it out in the Q&A box. I don't think he has, we've already responded to that. Unless he has any other question, he could also maybe drop it on the box. So we have a Nanlo Solomon Venbong. Solomon, you can go ahead and speak now. You can drop your contribution, please. I believe you've been unmuted. You can go ahead and speak, please. Nanlo Solomon. I think he also dropped a message on the Q&A box. And we can maybe treat that if he's no longer on the call. All right, so we have a next person with her hand raised, Gloria Iyanolua. We have Gloria Iyanolua. Please, if you're on the call, go ahead and drop your question, please.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Gloria. Go ahead, please.
Yes, ma'am. We've been asking for the reveal of tariffs since last year, but we've not gotten a response from it. Then we also need maybe a provider manager that we'll be communicating with. That's my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Please, what provider are you from, please?
Lovely Queen's Care Specialist Hospital, Ado-Ekiti.
Thank you so much. Doc, anything else?
Okay. Yes, we'll give you our provider manager's name in your area. She will even come and visit. I'll make sure she comes to visit you so that the relationship will even get tighter from there.
Okay. So what about the review of tariff too?
Yeah. So when she comes, she will discuss with you.
Okay. All right.
All
So
right.
we'll be waiting.
All right, ma'am.
All right, I think we have two more people that have raised their hands, or rather three. And after that, we will take maybe a few more questions and then wrap up the Q&A session. We have Anthony EJ. Anthony EJ, please, you can go ahead and speak now. Anthony EJ, if you're still on the call, please go ahead and speak. Okay, I think we can move to the next person. We have Samuel Essien. Samuel Essien, if you're still on the call, please go ahead and speak. You're unmuted now.
Okay, can you hear me now? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, this is Samuel, Promise Medical Center, Songo. I want to first and foremost appreciate your team for taking out this time to carry out an extensive and very, very explicit lecture on the program, the portal, and every other benefits at large. I must really appreciate your effort well done so far.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
My question is concerning, for instance, when we're treating Phillips patients, basically those on inpatients that on admission, and we send the mail for the PA code to be issued out, and with their swift response, the PA code is usually issued out. Then after that, the code is usually 24 hours. So by the time we check it on the portal, we see 24 hours, and the patient exceeded that 24 hours, and we now go back on that mail, let's say after 48 hours, send back, okay, this person is still on admission due to this and that, for instance, kindly update. We notice that the code is not usually updated for us to deal it on the portal. So I'll now have to go to the portal and now use the PA requester there on the portal to now make my comments and now request before we can now have an updated code on the portal. So I don't know, so that basic stuff from other persons who might not really understand how to use that pre-authorization. This is a way they could be able to help us update the PA code on mail when it's sent to HCT. So that on subsequent occasions, we'll not just be only showing admission for one task of hours when we had 48 hours, for example. I think apart from that, every other thing is going on smoothly. The portal is friendly and every other thing is on point. So those issues could be helped rectify so that we won't be having that challenge on admission. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Hello?
Mr. Samuel, if I get you right, you're asking if an enrollee is admitted and a PA code is given, then when the person is discharged, how to be updated. Is that what you're asking?
That when the person is being, the code issued out for his admission is usually 24 hours. That's for one. When I go in on the portal to verify that PA code. So instances where the patient exceeds that 24 hours to 48 hours, any of my staff here would usually send the mail under that mail trail requesting for an update of admission. But we notice that the PA code issued is not usually updated until we have to use the portal under the pre-authorization request on the portal to now make our comments there before the code. A fresh code will now be issued for 48 hours instead of the 24 hours that was initially approved on the mail. Do you understand?
Okay,
Do you
yes,
understand my question?
Yes, I do understand.
Okay, so I don't know how I'm saying that. Is there a way that when any of your agents over there on mail is responding to our request for an update, could usually help us update it on the mail instead, so that we not have to now start requesting for a fresh PA code on the portal. with our comment section that this person was on admission for 48 hours before that and that
So
done, so that it shouldn't really affect or delay our process. Do you understand my question?
Okay, so yes. So what I have to say to this is, your initial request for admission is via the portal, right?
So it's their mail.
Via mail.
HCP.
Okay, so what you have to do next time, I believe, when the enrollee exceeds more than the initial 24 hours given, you can reply via the same initial mail trail to let us know on the day of discharge that this enrollee has been discharged and the code needs to be updated, and we will update from our own end. We will need to reissue a new code. We'll update the initial code sent to you.
That's what I'm saying now. When we usually always update back that, okay, this person has been discharged, kindly help us update. But when we copy that code that is being, say it's updated back to the portal, so we could add it under the PA claim badge, it will still be showing 1 instead of 2. That's for admission.
Okay, when you request for the updates, have you added that particular code to batch? Like, have you submitted on the portal?
Yes, I submitted that already. That was in March.
That's the issue. Once you submit a code on the portal, it cannot be updated. We will have to reissue a new code. So I believe next time you don't need to upload that code on the portal. Let us update the code first before you proceed to upload on the portal for submission.
Okay. Now this is clarified. Thank you very much for that clarity.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I believe that we had a Daudu Titilayo. If she's still on this call, please. Daudu Titilayo. If you're on the call, please go ahead and speak. Daudu Titilayo, are you still on the call? All right, Hepzibah Eye Care, Joy of Hepzibah Eye Care. I believe, are you still on the call? Please go ahead and speak. You've been unmuted, please. Hepzibah Eye Care. Okay, I think we can move to the next person. We have Olubumi Oni. Although I believe he sent a question via the Q&A chat box. I don't know if he has another question for us. But if you're still here, please go ahead and speak. You've been unmuted.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my name is Ilua. I'm representing Ida Dental Clinic.
Oh, okay.
So
go
there's
ahead,
a question
sir.
I want to ask. The time you were giving the lecture, they made mention of about drugs, like we should be giving drugs to the patient, to the enrollee, that we should not be telling enrollee to get the drugs outside. So I want to ask, what if the drugs are not available at the time of the management? So what can we do? Should we ask the patients to get the drugs from the primary provider, or what to do? That's my question. Because at times, this is dental clinic. We don't normally stock drugs at times because of the expiring and all those things. So what can we do if we find ourselves in that situation? Thank you.
Okay, Mr.
Yes, sir. So,
okay, you do not need to ask the enrollee to purchase any drug. All you need to do is to reach out to us. Reach out to Phillips HMO, and then we will get the drug across to the enrollee. Just give us the prescription for the drugs, the dosage, the strength, and everything, and we'll get the drug across to the enrollee. Thank you.
Then how are we going to do that? Are we sending it as email or what? How are we going to do that?
Yeah, send it as email to hcp@phillipshmo.net, and we'll take it up from there.
Okay, so you be the one that we do the rest, The rest
Yes, just
cases.
give us the drugs prescription, then release name and ID number. We'll take it up from there.
Okay,
Say,
all right.
you're trying to say something
you.
as well, or is that fine with you?
Are you
Hello?
okay with the explanation, sir?
I'm okay with the experience I have with other HMOs. So all the about the claims, the requesting of portal, I'm okay with it.
Okay, Doris, I thought you wanted to say something. Let me just add a little thing, and I'm doing this just because of giving clarity to other providers as well. So why it's important for us, because this question has come up like 2 or 3 times, that if you have a situation where the drug is not available, you reach out to us because we have other systems, we have other ways that we can get the drug to the provider, sorry, to the release, sorry. So if a drug is not available, please reach out to us that, oh, we have these drugs out of stock right now, and it's part of the prescription of the doctor. How can you arrange for the release to get it? So when you get across to us, through email or even by phone call, we'll get that information. We will now be able to direct the enrollee on how they can get the drug. That way, it is easier and it's more seamless. Because if you tell them to go and buy the drug, it seems as though it's not covered for the drug. And then at the end, the enrollee will take it that the drug it was prescribed, it was denied giving the drug. So that's why it's good for you to carry us along. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We have Hepzibah Eye Care. Hepzibah Eye Care, I believe your hand was initially raised, so we've circled back to you.
Hello,
Okay, go
good
ahead.
morning.
Good afternoon,
morning.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay. My question is, I have a question because I have an issue with submission of bill for one of my branches, Ikeja branch, Hepzibah Eye Care Ikeja, due to the fact that a code was given, it's for June, a code was given for that enrollee, and single vision transition was added, which is 25,000 naira. But the total bill of 31,292 was not, if it's done on the portal, but it's not added to the bill. When added to badge, can you hear me? When added to the badge, the total bill is not corresponding with what it is on the badge notification. So that I've complained that, and the response I get is that they are working on it, and I will get a response shortly. Since yesterday, I'm yet to get a response to that email that I sent, and that's for that. Then secondly, I'm having issues with the call centers responses because it's unprofessional when I'm not in the same branch. We have over 13 branches right now, and then some of my colleagues in other branches will complain to me that sometimes the call centers are being rude to them, the way they talk to them, like when they have patients in the branch and they keep them for some time, and responses are not really coming up on time. And when they call them, they will tell them, oh, we've responded, whereas it takes time for them to respond. And then it makes us look like we are the one keeping the enrollee waiting. Whereas we don't get response on time, at the end of the day, they make us look like we are the ones that are bad in front of the enrollees. And that is something I really do not really appreciate. And then thirdly, when an enrollee limit, because we are optical center and they need glasses. Fine, we know that HMOs enrollees have different plans where they have different amounts slated for their glasses. And if an enrollee's limit is 15,000, for example, and the person wants something higher of about 40,000, because we have different types of lenses that enrollee have options to pick from. when you explain to an enrollee that this is something that will be good for you and all that, and the person says, oh, my limit is 15,000. Okay, let me get my limit. And then I'm willing to pay the difference and get what I really need for my eyes. And why will a call center tell the enrollee that no, you should go for what the thing that you're covered for? You don't need something extra. Please stay on your limit. And it's not professional enough. To me, I feel it's not professional. When the enrollee is willing to pay more and get what he wants, it should be allowed, and not tell the patient that no, do not stick to what your limit is and do not pay more. Do not do this, do not do that. I think it's not professional. We should also be carried along to that effect, so that when we have such cases, more cases like that, we'll be able to tell them, or we'll send you a mail to say, speak to your enrollee and let it be according to what you're giving them. So we don't tell them to go for something extra, what they can benefit from. I think those things are things that should be looked into and be addressed properly. Then lastly, for my tariff, I'm still waiting for response on that, so we can get it rolling up, because a lot of my colleagues are also complaining that how can we give a medication of 800 naira, whereas the cost price alone is 1,500 or 2,000 naira. We cannot continue with such medication, and it's not proper for us to start telling you that CEO, this on at point of service, we start telling you that this drugs is too expensive. Please, of which you also know that drugs are expensive these days. They are not the same thing the way it was before. So I think we should look into it and then get it rolling. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon. I'll start with the first question, which is the June PA code. Well, I'm trying to work. I'm currently working on that with our backend people to know the reason why the amount is not tallying with the amount issued is not tallying with the amount showing on your portal when you upload it. And once I get that, I will revert to you as soon as possible. Then, as regards the tariff and the call center issue, my Dr. Epo would respond to that right away. Dr. Epo.
Okay.
Dr. are you there?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually speaking to
sir, I'm here, sir. She was hearing me, sir. Sorry, can you hear me, ma?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please accept my profound apologies for any form of disrespect or rudeness that you and your team might have experienced from our call center agents. I promise you I will seriously look into that. But talking about the specs and sometimes people going beyond their limits, it is necessary for us to intervene a lot of times. Why? Because a number of times, the picture that the client paints for you is different from what they ultimately go to paint when they are talking to their HR. I still had a call like two days ago. So they overreach their limits. And when they are now being asked to pay, they go back to their HR and tell their HR that Phillips asked them to pay for something. They wouldn't say that, oh, they went beyond their limits. And sometimes, if not managed well, that could lead to some tension lines between us and the clients, that is their HR now or management. And that is why a lot of times it's imperative for us to come in and educate them. Maybe what might be missing might be the how with which such is communicated. but it is essential it's communicated so that at every point in time, everybody is on the same page, so that one person wouldn't be having some different idea and another one, because that is actually what will make this tripartite union we all have. That's what will make it work. Communication at every point in time. Communication in the sense that everybody is speaking the same language so that there won't be any form of battle. But going forward, we would streamline some of our processes so that it will be easier. The information will be conveyed in a better way. And also to make sure that there is no form of rudeness whatsoever, ma'am. I don't know if that addresses the issue, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. You also mentioned the issue of tariff. So, and maybe I should just speak generally to it, because I know it's an issue that is not peculiar to one. It's also not peculiar to Phillips HMO. It's also not peculiar to other HMOs. It's an industry-wide issue, and beyond industry, it's also a national and even global issue, an economic issue. But especially Nigeria is seriously hit by it. Talking about galloping inflation, price of things, running up the hill, on a daily basis, and forex exchange level fluctuating. A lot of things are actually challenging the country, as we all know, and we're all in Nigeria. We all know what is happening. So we shouldn't look at it as an HMO thing. Even HMOs as well are not finding it that easy to grow up with this, because even the companies that are going back to say, hey, price of things have gone up, we need to increase this, they are not even able to increase to the extent you want them to increase, because they also are limited by the fact that they are not even making money. They are also having losses, and some of them even retrenching staff. So this is an economic issue, it's a macroeconomic issue, and it's not peculiar to HMO. So I will plead with providers to please see it in that light. We are not saying that you should run at a loss, but please be indulgent a bit with the HMO, because we are all hit by the same tsunami, so to speak. And no one is exempt. So we're all facing the heat together. But we are committed to seeing that we work out an arrangement, a workable arrangement, mutually between our partners, to see what we can do. Just like one of the providers mentioned, that there has to be some shiftings here and there until we're able to find a place that can work for both of us. So please, I want to appeal to us to not just look at this as, let's just transfer the whole bulk and throw upon the HMO. We're also hit by it. We're also in the country. We're also going to the same market. We also buy the same fuel. So it is a global thing, especially a macroeconomic issue for the whole country, which we are all in. So I want to please appeal to us as partners. This thing is not peculiar to us. We all know that sincerely. We are all facing it, and we are trying to see that we're able to work out something that can still at least sustain everybody. It's not as easy, to be honest with you, as one may look at it from one end. If you just look at it from one end, you can just say, hey, okay, price of drip has increased, and so based on that, okay, if my new thing is 2,000 or 1,000, or the price of that increase, so I just transfer the whole bulk to you. HMO will not be able to bear all of those bulk sincerely, and it's not peculiar to us. So please, let's have this spirit of partnership, which we are all committed to, and view these issues as a real macroeconomic issues that we are all in it, and see how we can work out something that will be fair and will be at least workable. But I'll be honest with you, it's not easy to transfer the whole of all those things of the price increase onto HMO, because you can't even bear it. You don't even have the wherewithal to bear it. It may interest you to know, and you can check this out. It is not a classified information, so I can let you to check it out. Claims ratio of HMO is reasonable 90%. And I'm sure you will know that as providers, because this is even discussed at group, at industry and association level, even with the regulator. So several HMOs are running to loss, at the end of the period. And if you're on the news or watching some of them, you will have seen some of those things. The last rating that Augusta & Co. did for the industry of the HMO 2022 was at 90-something% claims ratio. So if HMO gets 100 naira in general, they are paying 90-something naira out for claims. And then you now talk of what is left for administration, what is left for over, what is left for all of all those things. So it's not that easy, to be honest with you. So I want to appeal to us, so please have that indulgent heart that we can all work this together as partners and not just look at it as one-sided thing and just throw everything over and say, deal with it. No, please, let's work together on this and see how we can still have a common ground that at least be fair to both parties. Thank you so much. I just feel I should make this appeal as I address this concern, but we'll look into it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. Thank you, sir, for that answer. I don't believe we have any more hands. Okay, I think there's one more person. Fidelis Ezioku.
So that should be the last one now, so we can close.
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
yes. I believe that's the last person. Yes, that's the only hand that we haven't treated. So if he's on the call, please, you can just drop your contribution or concerns if you're still on the call. Fidelis Ezeoku. Okay, I don't believe he's available at the moment. Or is he unmuted yet? All right, no problem. Thank you so much for all your contributions and all the questions. I believe we have gone a long way to address so many of the concerns that have been shared with us. Thank you so much for making out time. We started sometime around past 10 and this is about 2. So that's quite a very productive way to spend our day. I believe you would also agree with me. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you to everyone who took out time to attend. We had quite a number of participants and we thank you for taking out time on a Thursday morning to attend this session. At this point, I believe I would call on the person of our MD, Dr. Victor Benebo, to give us a closing remark so that we can take we can put this whole thing to rest. Thank you so much.
Are you giving them Debbie's number?
Okay, thank you so much, Margaret. My closing remark is very simple. It will be basically to appreciate our very valued providers and partners once again, and to say thank you so much. We do appreciate your time. We do appreciate your commitment. We do appreciate your involvement as we all try to render quality service to our release that we have sworn to do so. Please, whatever concerns you have, I'm taking note of them, and we have an open door policy and our channels are open to communicate with you. We apologize for any area that we fell short. We're sorry about that. We are committed to conducting improvement our process. That's why we're even having this forum and having this feedback so that we can see how we can continue to improve on our services. Phillips HMO is committed to rendering top-notch quality service, and we assure you that that is a promise from us. Lastly, please, like it was said by both all the presenters, please reach out to us through the proper channel, ACP for email, acp@phillipshmo.net. The Phillips has double L and also an S after the P. So if you have any concerns, the care line, the dedicated hospital line is also available. Reach out to us through any of these channels and we'll be happy to respond to you. And any further queries you have, please, the channels are still open. And to also say that we also will be very grateful and we are appealing to you to also increase your enrollee base through this partnership. Give us referrals, give us recommendations, tell people about Phillips, and you'll be able to have more people coming to you, and we'll continue to pay our claims promptly and also do our services promptly. So thank you so much once again. We do appreciate your time and we wish you all the best. And we are confident that we will together get through these very, very challenging times in the country. But I believe that we'll get over it. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Please, thank you once again.
Thank you so much, MD, for that.
And
Sorry,
treat
please.
enrollees well. Oh, sorry, Margaret, please treat enrollees well. You know, those enrollees have a way of speaking good about your facility. Treat them well,
Yeah.
and let them have more comments and positive references concerning your hospital, and more will be coming to you. So you also have part of the ball in your court to pull more enrollees to your side by the kind of service you give to them. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, sir. On a final note, please, we are also taking note of everybody who has filled out the survey and has dropped their phone number for us to give them their data gifts. They should be getting that before close of business today. So once we get to see that you have, of course, filled out the survey, you'll be getting your data gifts. And so if you're still on this call and you're yet to do that, please, you can quickly go ahead and fill out the survey and drop your phone numbers, and we will get across to you before close of business. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking out time. Thank you for your generosity in treating our enrollees. We continue to ask that we treat this partnership as, I believe I'm seeing people saying they raised their hands. We have actually called on some of the names. I believe maybe you had stepped away from the system, but please, if you have any questions that were not treated on this platform, please feel free to reach us, like the MD has said, on any of our channels, and we would be sure to go ahead and give you responses. Thank you so much. The survey link is still in the chat box. Please go ahead and fill that out and you would get your responses. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you. We may disengage now.
Group photo has it been taken? So it on, has the group photo been taken earlier? Jegede?
Yes, they have.
Okay.